Yo, yo, yo. We are live. It has been a minute. How are we doing? Everybody, it's your boy Shifty. We are going to be here for Rams Seahawks. This ought to be a good one. NFC West showdown. There is going to be a couple of other big games on at the same time, but we're going to stick with Rams Seahawks. That's the plan, anyways. We have the Bears and the Cardinals. They're kicking off in a few minutes. That's a big game for when you look at the NFC West. The Cardinals are actually leading the division. Then we look at there's the Lions and Packers. That's going to be a big game. A lot of people are going to tune in for that one. But we're going to focus on the NFC West battle, Rams and Seahawks. And yeah, I'm really curious to see how this is all going to shake out. We have Nick in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, it's been it's been about 2.5 weeks, I think, since I've really done anything with the channel. And first off, like that massive apologies for that. But obviously I was on vacation. I've been sick. I've been working. It's just been a wild ride. But Nick, great to have you here, buddy. Yeah, this is going to be, obviously, we're going to be calling the Rams-Seahawks game, and we'll just be doing a catch-up, and we'll just be kind of seeing how everything's going, how everyone is doing, and yeah, wild week so far in the NFL. Of course, Thursday night, I have all these freaking pop-ups. Holy smokes. Nick, how are you? Tell me how you're doing, buddy. Give me the details. But of course, you had the Jets upset the Houston Texans on Thursday Night Football, and right now, you have a whole bunch of wacky games going on. Looks like the Bills are going to beat the Miami Dolphins. Let's see. Looks like the Cowboys scored a touchdown. There's a minute and a half to go in that one. So you have CD Lamb got a 2-point conversion, was it? Why did they go for two there? That's interesting. But Cowboys and Falcons. Falcons 27. Oh, that game is pretty much going to be over. Falcons are going to beat the Cowboys 27-21. Yeah, don't forget, guys, to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. We just have a couple people in here. This was relatively last minute. I did want to do a game this Sunday, and hopefully as the day goes on, or for me, the night, we'll get a few people in here. We'll chat, we'll catch up, we'll talk 49ers. Of course, the last two games I haven't done. So you can always ask my thoughts on the Chiefs game and the Cowboys game, and basically where the 49ers stand as things are right now. And that's something that I do want to touch on in the next couple of days, is doing videos on like mid-season awards. Are there any potential trades the 49ers could make? But Nick says, doing well, working a ton, enjoying the Cowboys losing. Yes, looks like the Falcons, they pretty much have that game wrapped up. It looks like the game is over. Kirk Cousins is kneeling, so I'm assuming that means that the game is all but wrapped up. The Falcons will beat the Cowboys, and Falcons move to 6-3 with Kirk Cousins. And the Panthers have taken the lead over the Saints, 23-22. There's 2 minutes left. Saints have the ball, but wow. Let's go over some of the results from early on. And damn, the Browns scored a touchdown. I only say that in anger because I have the Chargers defense. So that's why I'm a little annoyed at that. Still, the Chargers defense got me a whole bunch of points. So can't argue with that. But we got Riz 49. Let's go. Says, what up, red and gold, till I'm cold, dead and cold. Look, you know how it is. We're rocking the 49ers. Look, this is going to be a good game, though. Rams-Seahawks. I'm not really going for anyone in this game. More just kind of looking to see how both of these teams are looking. Now, remember, the Seahawks, of course, they're going to be playing shortly. Then they have a bye week, and then they visit San Francisco. 49ers, of course, we are on our bye week. Then we go to Tampa Bay, and then we come back home and we face the Seahawks. Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights. Yo, let's go. We got DJ Gene in the house. Good to see you too, buddy. Good to see you too. Always good to see your little updates on Facebook as well, man. Looks like you're rocking and rolling. And then Crazy Juice says, do you think we trade for anyone? I think we do. The 49ers in the John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan era have been incredibly active when it comes to the trade deadline. You think back to 2017, of course, the trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. 2019 for Emmanuel Sanders. 2021, we traded for... Who did we trade for? I think it was Charles Omenihu, was it? 2022, we trade for Christian McCaffrey. Last season, we traded for Chase Young. We also traded for Randy Gregory earlier. So there's going to be, I think there's going to be some activity. I think the Niners are calling around. A couple of names that I could throw out on the offensive side of the ball, depending on how McCaffrey looks in the next day or so, I think with regards to practice, could we see the Niners trade for a running back? If we do, I could see it being Jeff Wilson Jr., who's buried on the depth chart in Miami, and Miami are in a very much a losing record. I think they're going to be 2-7 now, with a loss to Buffalo, or 2-6 or 2-7. And I think maybe you do a 6th round pick for Jeff Wilson Jr. and a 7th round pick. So we're not giving up a whole lot for him. But that would be my kind of, if they're not comfortable with McCaffrey coming back, you get Jeff Wilson Jr. back, and he could be a guy where, look, you're probably going to go with Garendo and Mason. And this is assuming, again, if McCaffrey can't go. Hopefully he can. I think it's going to be much more limited compared to what we saw last year, but that's if they're not comfortable with McCaffrey and where he's at health-wise. A lot of other players, you could look at Kendrick Bourne, wide receiver. You know, he's been with us before. Wide receiver, he's with the Patriots. Tight ends, maybe a Tyler Conklin from the Jets. Defensively, I think Azeez Ojulari. Can both teams lose? That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? I live in Washington State, so I bet on Rams. F to Seagull, says Riz. Look, yeah, if I don't like either team, of course. If you asked me like 6 years ago, I would have said I hate the Seahawks so much and I despise them. Because that Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, Legion of Boom, they dominated us. I think now, though, I kind of dislike the Rams a little bit more. Just after losing the NFC Championship game, and then losing earlier this year in just a wacky fashion, I think I maybe dislike the Rams a little bit more than the Seahawks. But I hate them both. So don't get me wrong. Louis Betancourt, Chicken of the Sea, the Seattle Sea Chickens. Let's go. So we have some final scores here. We have the Bengals 41, Raiders 17. Bengals going to win that. Obviously, there's 2 minutes to go. Bryce Young and the Panthers are going to beat the New Orleans Saints. 23-22. Bryce Young is kneeling, so the Panthers are going to win. Patriots and Titans in overtime. Like, why? Who would want to watch that? Chargers beat the Browns 27-10. Bills do beat the Dolphins 30-27. Dolphins put up a big fight. Falcons, of course, beat the Cowboys 27-21. Ravens dominate the Denver Broncos and really bring Bo Nix and the Broncos back to reality. Back to life, back to reality, 41-10. Commanders also beat the Giants too. Cowboys are a 7-10 team, says Lewis. Cowboys lose again, says Stubby. I ain't gonna complain. It's good. I'm always happy when the Cowboys lose. It's a good day. Cowboys are a 7-10 team. Yes, the Cowboys. Well, obviously at the rate they're going, and then you think about. If we are to be charitable, there's no Micah Parsons. That's like the 49ers without Nick Bosa. So that does change a lot. They're also without Deron Bland. So do I think I think Bland is as good as how well Mooney Ward has played this year. And also, it's been a while since I've been here, but man, freaking prayers up to Charvarius Mooney Ward and his family. Are just thoughts, whatever. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't really matter what denomination anyone is, or let's just send good thoughts to the Ward family. Mooney Ward unfortunately lost his daughter, and I can't even imagine. So, but anyways, hopefully he is able to, and his family are able to come together and get through this really difficult time. Whether that's, and whatever Mooney Ward wants to do, what helps him is if he plays and gets his mind off of it, or if he needs to take time, we'll see what happens. But Dak and Lamb might be out next game. Yes. Well, I saw that Lamb was questionable to return. I'll always take reality over fantasy, but I do have Dak Prescott, or not Dak. I have CeeDee Lamb in fantasy, and I'm kind of like, always want the Cowboys to lose, but to have CeeDee Lamb have a big game. But yeah, we don't need to be charitable to the Cowboys. That Mark, you did hit the nail on the head right there. And this is happening right now. We are live. We're doing this. We're doing Rams-Seahawks. It's been a while. Last week, the Cowboy game, I had just come back from vacation. I thought I had the Monday off, but I didn't. And then also I've been sick. I've been working, vacation. Look, I'm not complaining. It is what it is. That's just life. We all have these things. But unfortunately, it just meant that this took a slight backseat. But we're going to be back rocking and rolling. I've looked at the rest of the regular season, and I think that I should be able to basically do every single 49ers game for the rest of the season. If there's any changes, I'll let you know as soon as possible, but I believe there's no issue doing every single Niner game for the rest of the season, so there we go. But yes, I do. I agree with you that the Cowboys are not playing well by any stretch of the imagination. What in the hell is happening here with the Jaguars Seahawks? I don't know. Bears Cardinals is an interesting game. Of course, it's kind of early in the season to be rooting for teams, because let's say you could be like, oh, we're rooting for the Bears to win. But then later on, it's like, well, maybe we wanted the Bears to lose because of seeding. But I think we probably want the Bears to beat the Cardinals. That way, the Cardinals are no longer top of the division. We don't need to be... Yeah, exactly. There you go, Mark. Nick says, Titans might win in overtime, but I don't think nobody cares. Well, if you're a okay. And if we take a step back a little bit, I've never watched a 49ers game despite whatever draft position might be available. I don't think I've ever watched a Niner game and been like, I'm actively rooting for us to lose. I don't think I've ever done that. I remember back in 2005 when it was the 49ers against the Houston Texans, and it was dubbed the Reggie Bush Bowl because whoever lost was presumably going to get Reggie Bush. We beat the Texans. Then the Texans took Mario Williams, which is actually a good pick. But I wasn't happy. I wasn't upset that we won that game. I think it's a case. I think the correct mindset when you're a team that's awful, like when you're a team like the Titans or the Patriots, I think the right mindset is be a fan and root for your team. But if you do lose the game, you really don't have anything to be upset about. Well, you can be a bit annoyed, hey, we lost, but at least there's a big silver lining where it's like, oh, could we get the next quarterback, or could we get the next big time? Like if you're the Patriots, you just drafted Drake May, who's looking okay-ish considering the team that he's on. But maybe you get the next best, like the really good. Maybe you get like a Nick Bosa or a Myles Garrett or a whatever wide receiver you want to talk about, or a big time player or offensive lineman. So I think that's the mentality that I have. If anyone disagrees, like it's one thing maybe if you're a team and you need a quarterback and there is basically like Andrew Luck in the draft. I understand where you're like, if it's like week 18, it's like, do you want to win this game where it doesn't really mean a whole lot and then you miss out on that quarterback? I get it. But also, let's say you have the Jacksonville Jaguars who got Trevor Lawrence, and I'm kind of ranting a little bit here, but bear with me. Jacksonville Jaguars who are like, we hit the jackpot with Trevor Lawrence. Like, he's a sure thing. But then a few years later, you have someone come out like Jaden Daniels, and he's actually winning games. So it doesn't always. There's always another. I've never been a fan of. If there's a fan who's like, I actively want us to lose this game. I'll always root for the 49ers, and if it is a situation where if we lose and it really helps for draft position, there's a really good player there, fair enough. If we do lose, then at least I can be like, hey, look, we're in a better position to get that guy. But the amount of, I mean, sometimes with the draft, like everyone thinks it's and look, Andrew Luck was probably the prototypical guy and he was awesome while he played. But that doesn't come along very often. Aaron Rodgers seems all washed up. Gene, you're right. You are totally right, man. He does seem washed up, and the Jets are going to have to rely on their defense, and they're going to have to try and get Breece Hall going. They have Braylon Allen, who's a good young running back. The trade for Devontae Adams, look, it's very early, and although Rodgers and Adams played together for a long time in Green Bay, it's also been a few years since they've played together, so that'll take a few weeks. Garrett Wilson, that touchdown catch was out of this world. Looks like they're really kind of ramping up against a good Houston Texans team. Now, they're missing a bunch of players, but they're missing Nico Collins, they're missing Stephon Diggs, so it's not a full-strength Houston team. But to get a win there, it's big. Reggae Shark is in the house. Let's go. We are 10 minutes from kickoff between the Rams and Seahawks. So we're doing this NFC West showdown. You also have the Lions and Packers game is going to be on at the same time. We'll be checking in with that throughout the course of the day. Eagles are 7-0 up over the Jacksonville Jaguars. To no surprise, Jalen Hurts 20-yard touchdown pass to Saquon Barkley. Barkley getting on the board. But we have 19 people in here, guys. Look, this is probably not going to be the wildest stream with regards to me yelling like crazy, unless there's some crazy plays. But I really appreciate everyone for being here. We're going to be the kickoff is going to be in about maybe 8 to 10 minutes time. I'm not really going for anyone in this game. I guess we want the Rams to win and Cardinals to lose, says Mark. I guess, well, I don't even know if I want the Rams to win. When you look at the situation right now, we maybe potentially want the Seahawks to win. And I only say that because as of now, we have a tiebreaker over the Seahawks, and there's still a lot of time left to play. I don't know. It's hard. You can make arguments either way. Like, for example, if the Rams win today, in terms of the standings, they would be above us. If the Seahawks win today, they would also be above us. But if we can beat Tampa Bay next week, then we would be above Seattle. So it's tricky. I'd have to, it's hard to say. Who we getting back this week, says Riz. Tie 0-0, says Nick. Yeah, maybe a tie. Maybe just a freaking tie. This week, well, I believe it sounds like that Christian McCaffrey should be back for the Buccaneers game. Fingers crossed. I mean, 0-0 maybe, Nick, but maybe like an exciting game. Otherwise, look, if it was 0-0, then holy moly, for me to be here for the next 3 hours for a 0-0 game, we would all get to know each other really well. But I think McCaffrey should be back the next week against Tampa Bay. Potentially, it sounds like Talanoa Hufanga may play with like a club because one of his hand he injured his wrist. So that's a possibility. Greenlaw, Mark, no, you're not going to see Greenlaw against Tampa Bay. I don't think you're going to see Greenlaw against Seattle the week after. I think for me, my whole timeline, and it kind of sounds like it's potentially lining up, was the Green Bay game. So we played Tampa Bay in Tampa. We come home for Seattle. Then we play back-to-back games on the road against Green Bay and Buffalo. Two really tough games on the road in December. I'm eyeing Greenlaw to be back for Green Bay. That's what I'm hoping. So it doesn't even have to be this game. I just want a 0-0 game. That would be a scoregami, wouldn't it? That would be a scoregami. So looks like the Titans are leading the Patriots 20-17 in overtime. However, the game is not over. The Patriots have the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 41, 2 minutes to go in overtime. Like, of any game to go to overtime and maybe go the entire length of overtime, that would maybe be the last game. Five-ish minutes to go until kickoff in the Rams-Seahawks. Again, we will be keeping an eye on the Lions-Packers game because that's going to have potentially major implications when you look at the NFC and the playoff picture, especially down the line. So Bears-Cardinals 0-0, Eagles 7-0 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow. Yeah, I think, Greenlaw's going to take a few weeks. I'm trying to think beyond that. Other players who should be back maybe in the next few games, maybe next 3 games would be Yetur Gross-Matos. Titans win an interception. It did not update for me here, but you are 100% right. Titans win. So the Patriots... Well, it's hard to say because the Saints, Panthers, and Patriots and Browns are all 2-7, and the Raiders as well. There's a lot of bad teams. There's a lot of really bad teams, isn't there, this year? It's really top and bottom heavy. Most seasons you'll have like your 2 or 3 teams who are like really, really good. They're shooting for like 13, 14 wins. Then you'll have like your 2 or 3 teams who are probably going to end with like 3 or 4 wins, maybe. And then the rest is kind of in the middle. But this year it seems like you have maybe 6 or 7 teams who could go maybe 12, 13, 14 wins. And then 6 or 7 teams that are going to maybe end with like 3 or 4 wins. It's wacky. It is pretty wacky, I have to say. I am going to boot up my stream for the Rams and Seahawks. I personally think that my graphics are better than theirs, but yeah, so everybody, when we looking back at the last couple of weeks for San Francisco, though, that I was in France when the Niners played the Chiefs, and Ayuk out for the year. That's really crappy. Brock Purdy arguably played his worst game as a 49er. That game, or maybe last year against Baltimore. It's against a good defense, a really well-coached defense, but he didn't play well. Of course, it doesn't help when your number one receiver gets injured during the game, and you don't have Jawan Jennings either, so that makes it really tough. But the Kansas City game, pretty disappointing because for most of the game, I thought the defense played really well. Like, the defense kept us in that game for so long. The offense could just do nothing. But then you come back against the Cowboys. The first half was not good for the 49ers, but you have that big time second half. The third quarter was awesome. Bit of a scare towards the end, with the Cowboys kind of making a bit of a comeback, but we're able to close it out. We moved to 4-4, and that was, I sent out a tweet a while ago that actually got a little bit of traction, and it was basically get to 4-4, make a move at the trade deadline, get some guys back healthy, and then bam, go for it. Raiders lost. Yeah, the Raiders got destroyed. Cardinals QB got sacked by his own player. How on earth does that happen? I feel like the Cardinals always, when they play, like they always give us their best game. Like I feel like the Cardinals, like so many times they play us really well, and maybe it's just like a not a great matchup, but they play us really well. Um, I mean, look, earlier in the year, fair enough, they kind of got lucky because we didn't have a kicker. Um, but I feel like they always give us like they play their best against the 49ers. They don't do stupid stuff like that. So we're looking at NFC West standings. The NFC West is like maybe the closest division in football. Definitely not the best, but the closest, arguably. So I'm really curious. Like, this game could have some massive implications. Riz49 says you're at work. Hey, make that money, bro. Make that money. Do your thing. Gold-blooded. Anytime you can, feel free to check on in. We'll be doing this, the full game. We'll be here. Ian says, am I feeling better? Yes, I am feeling better. I think an issue that I've had is I've been really congested. That's been one of the bigger things that's kind of been bugging me, is just the congestion that I've had the last couple of weeks or so. And I just can't seem to shake it. But other than that, I'm rocking and rolling. I really can't complain. I could, but who'd listen? Smoke 82's in the house. Let's go. So we are here. Seahawks, Rams. The Rams are kicking off to the Seahawks, so I will update where the ball is. It's going to be a touchback. So Seahawks will start the game with the ball. It's a touchback. They will start from their 30-yard line. But thank you for asking, Ian. I appreciate that. I also appreciate the comment that you left when I said that unfortunately I had to work last Monday. The game would have finished local time around 3:30 or 4 in the morning, and I had to be at work at 7, so not going to happen. But here we are, Seattle, 1st and 10 at their own 30. Geno Smith changes the play in shotgun. Back to his left is Kenneth Walker. He's going to hand it off. Walker's going to cut upside, maybe gets about 4 yards on the first down play. All right. Hand off to Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker's got a lane across midfield to the 45. DJ Gene, I just added you as a moderator as well. That's what I was just doing there on my phone. So you should be a moderator now. So, yeah, Geno Smith does a good job settling into the pocket, dumps it off to Kenneth Walker, big gain. So they're at the Rams 48. Geno Smith in the gun, hands it off to Walker. Walker gets about 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 7 coming up from the Rams 45-yard line. They are into Ram territory. So everything going the way of Kenneth Walker. In the first 3 plays, it's been Walker, Walker, Walker. A lot of rookies on this Rams defense, and the Rams have been playing quite well, so they have a bright future ahead of them. 2nd and 7 for the Seahawks. You're going to have Geno in the pistol, Walker behind him, 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Snap is away. Play looked a little bit broken from the get-go, but a nice run there from Kenneth Walker up the middle, pickup of 6, 3rd and 1 coming up, and you're absolutely in that territory on the field where if you don't get it here in 3rd and 1, you bet your bottom dollar they're going to be going for it on 4th down. And they do go quick, and they don't get it. They ran the play quickly. It's going to be dependent on forward progress, but they're saying 4th and 1. And this is a big play early on. The offense for Seattle staying out there, which we would expect considering where they're at on the field at the Rams 40-ish yard line, 4th and 1. Big play early on in this game in Seattle. Geno behind center, 3 guys behind him. They are going to hand off Kenneth Walker left side, and he gets the first down. That was like a real old school play. It was like 2 fullbacks, Kenneth Walker Hand it to him. You have two big guys leading the way, and they get the first down. Seattle on the move inside the Rams' 40-yard line. Potentially a timeout on the field, is it? Nope, never mind. At the Rams' 37-yard line, Geno is going to change the play. He's going to go shotgun. To his left is Charbonnet. 3 receivers and a tight end. Snap is away. He's looking to throw. Looks to dump it off to Charbonnet, who catches it but takes a hit right away. Charbonnet takes a hit right away. Pickup of about 1 or 2 on the play, but the Rams ready for that one. That Rams DB read that play like a book. Charbonnet catches it. Bam! Hit. I don't know who came off worse from that hit, though. Decent pressure from the Rams defense. 2nd and 9, they're calling it from the Ram 36. Geno in the gun. Charbonnet to his right. Looking to throw. Gonna break away from a sack, but then gets swallowed up by 3 Ram defenders. Pockets the cheesecake. How are you doing? Welcome on in. I love cheesecake. It's my favorite dessert. But the Rams get pressure immediately. Braden Fisk, a guy who we really, really liked in the draft, gets pressure on Geno Smith, and then 3 Ram defenders just crowd all over him. Sacked, loses 4 yards. Suddenly the Seahawks in a 3rd and 13 from the Rams 40. Geno in the gun, Charbonnet to his left, trips receivers down low. He's looking that way. Got time, launches it, incomplete. The receiver, Tyler Lockett, and Geno Smith not on the same page. Tyler Lockett ran his route, cut inside. I think Geno Smith expected him to cut outside towards the sideline. That did not happen. 4th and 13, and if you're Seattle, you're either going for a 58-yard field goal or you're punting the ball, try and pin the Rams back, play the field position game, and they are going to punt the ball. Michael Dixon. He is really solid at pinning teams back. Dixon with the punt. They call the fair catch at the 11-yard line. So a solid punt, I'll say. Not spectacular, though. So Rams going to get the ball at their own 11-yard line 5 minutes into the game. Let's check in on Lions-Packers. Packers 4th and 1 from the Detroit 44-yard line. You gotta think Green Bay's going for that, don't you? You gotta think Green Bay's going for that. There's no way they're punting the ball from there. Or they both get a loss for this game. Pockets, if that was possible, I'd be rooting for that every time the Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals play. Throw in the Cowboys too for good measure, and we're all good with that. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals are on the move. Cardinals have the ball 2nd and 6 at the Chicago 22-yard line. Let's see how that one is going. Kyler Murray, 3 for 4, 22 yards. What happened? How did they get into that field position? James Conner for 15 yards, and they had a nice return, punt return. They both get that. And look, if that could happen, they could both get a loss. We're all good with that. So the Packers do get the first down. Then on first down, they have a false start. So it's 1st and 15 from the Detroit 47. 0-0 in that ball game, 4 minutes into the game. That's a big game, right? Like, considering the time of the year, that's one of the bigger games you're going to see on the calendar. 26 people in here, guys. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Share it as well. We're going to be here doing Rams-Seahawks all game long. We're also going to be checking in frequently with the Packers, Lions, and then also the Cardinals-Bears. Cardinals have the ball 1st and goal at the Chicago 2. You feel like they're going to hand it off to James Conner probably like 2 or 3 times and see what happens. Knowing how the Cardinals play, it's going to James Conner a couple times before they maybe consider throwing it. Awesome. Thank you. There you go, DJ. There you go. You got the wrench. Appreciate you, DJ, for always being here, being awesome. I feel like I needed to add some moderators because sometimes during the games it can get pretty hectic. But yeah, and then you have some people who come in sometimes and look, they're just doing their thing, I suppose. Doing their thing. 29 people in here, guys. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday. For me, Sunday night, but for you, Sunday afternoon, most likely. They missed the first play coming out of the commercials for some reason. So it was an incomplete there. So now it's 3rd and 3 for the Rams at their own 18-yard line. 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. If you're the Rams, you feel like, look, even if obviously you don't have to score on this drive, but you gotta get that first down. You really do. Maintain control of the ball, get possession, get the offense in a bit of a rhythm. 3rd and 3 for the Rams. Stafford in the gun, back to his right. 2 receivers down low. Cooper Kupp motions up top. Snap is away. Stafford looking to throw, steps into the pocket, throws it. It dropped by number 15. And is that Puka Nacua? Is that Puka Nacua? Looks like or is that Whittington? Hard to say. Bad drop throw for the Rams. So the Rams are going to go 3 and out. And they have Ty Zentner, who's going to be punting from their own 18-yard line. In a full house, it looks like, in Seattle, Washington. Punt is away. Back to return the ball. He's going to field it at about the 30-yard line. 35. Getting some blocks there up to the 40. So good field position for the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to have 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line when we come back in action here. The Cardinals scored. Cardinals 7-0 over the Chicago Bears. And let's see who scored. It was Trey McBride, the tight end, ran it into the end zone. Trey McBride. That's something out of like a Kyle Shanahan type thing to get like the tight end the ball. Packers have just dominated time of possession. They've had the ball the entire it's almost halfway through the first quarter, and the Packers have had the ball second and 9 at the Detroit 16-yard line. Hoo-wee. That's a good game you got going on. Green Bay, Detroit. Something that may be overlooked a little bit when you look at the Detroit Lions, and I do think they're a fantastic team. Arguably the best team, especially how they're playing in the NFL. But this is their first game outside all season. On their entire schedule, they only play 3 games outside. They play against the Packers outside. They come and play against us outside. And they play against Chicago outside. Those are the only 3 games. And DJ Gene, thank you so much for re-upping the membership, man. You're a good guy. You're a good dude. Appreciate the support, DJ. Appreciate that, buddy. Packers now 4th and 5 at the Detroit 12, and you have to think they take the field goal, take the points, take the lead, is my guess, is what they should do. Smoke 82. Yeah, we got beers. We're drinking beers, by the way. Before we're back in action here, I am going to grab said beer, and I will be right back. Alrighty, we got 28 people in here now. Let's go. Let's go. Rams-Seahawks, everybody. What in the world happened there? It's 2nd and 31 for Seattle. Geno in the gun by himself, dumps it off over the middle to Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's going to break some tackles, still breaking tackles, and gets about 20-something yards. Gets about 21, 22 yards, Jackson Smith-Njigba. JSN, what do you do for work? Chair. So I work for a medical device company. I work with 3D printers. We print medical device parts for hip transplants and knee transplants. That's basically, that's in a nutshell, that's what I do. It's terribly exciting, but I have a lot of great people that I work with. Huge play, though, for Jackson Smith-Njigba on 2nd and 31. You get 22, and it was intercepted, was it? I am just screwing the pooch here at this one. Oh, and then JSN goes to catch the ball and drops it. Maddox Lopez. I'm watching an NFC West game. I'm watching a football game. The Niners are on a bye week. Of course I am. Geno Smith intercepted. Goes back to Jackson Smith-Njigba after a big gain. Throws it behind him. Tries to catch it. Ball flips up. Intercepted by the Rams. Shifty, just tell everybody you're a secret agent. We all are secret agents. But Danger's my middle name. Austin Powers. Around the league, Packers 3, Lions 0, Cardinals 7, Bears 0. Who do I think is going to win, asks Maddox. God, that's a tough ask. I think the teams are evenly matched. I am going to go with... I'll go with the Rams. I think the Rams will win. But I feel like if DK Metcalf was there, I feel like Geno Smith just... Obviously, like Geno Smith has so much trust in DK Metcalf, and that's not a bad thing by any means. But when DK is not out there, I just think that he's kind of like, he just doesn't trust his guys. That's just the feeling that I get. I don't watch them every single game, but that's just the feeling that I get. That he needs to put trust. Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's a good receiver. Tyler Lockett, veteran, maybe not the guy he was 3-4 years ago, but still a good receiver who can get open. Noah Fant, a solid tight end. I think I think when DK is not out there, he just crumbles. Go Niners, we're going to come out of the bye week arm swing, and says Santa Clara fella. Look, I completely agree. The Niners, the last 3 years, have been money when it comes to the second half of the season coming out of the bye weeks. And with guys coming back healthy, I don't see why we shouldn't be able to do that. It is a tough schedule, though. 1st and 10 Rams at midfield, Stafford behind center, and he's going to hand it off left side, cuts upfield, maybe gets 2 yards. Good job by the Seattle defense. Did a good job contain on the outside. I want to see this play again. They're showing it the interception. Geno, that was more on JSN. Initially, I thought the throw was maybe a bad throw, but JSN just needs to do better. 2nd and 8 for the Rams inside the Seahawks 49. Stafford behind the center again. Heavy set to the right side. Snap is away, hands it off. Up the middle, maybe gets a yard or so. 3rd and 7 coming up. Jalen McCullough, 4th interception. He's a rookie too. Wow. That's impressive. That is impressive. I will give him that. Let's see, can the Rams pick up a first down? They went 3 and out on their first drive. 3rd and 7, Stafford in the gun, back to his left. Trips receivers up top. Nakua and Cooper Kupp are among them. Snap is away, looking to throw, looking right side. Throws it downfield. Caught! First down Rams. Big time gain, and that is Demarcus Robinson, number 15. I mean, of course, naturally, defenders and the defense is going to zero in on Cooper Kupp and Puka Nakua, but the wily veteran, Demarcus Robinson, picks up first down yardage for the Rams. They are in scoring position. 1st and 10. 18-yard gain at the Seahawks 29-yard line. Stafford behind center, lone back. Tutu Atwell in motion, does hand it off up the middle. Bouncing outside goes Kyren Williams. He's got a lane inside the 20, down to the 16. However, there's a flag, and I think we all know, reverse it, back it up. It's going to be holding on the offense. Sometimes when those running backs bounce it outside, it can be hard to keep those holds. Yeah, Long, the tight end Long, called for the hold. It looks like he did hold, but sometimes I feel like holding calls are just, it's really iffy. And also, it's a bad penalty. 10 yards, that's hefty. 1st and 20 now for the Rams, back at the Seahawks 39. Stafford behind center. Nakua motions. They're going to hand it off up the middle to Williams, who gets maybe a yard on the play. 2nd and 19. And now that was Jaron Reed on the tackle. Now the Rams are way behind the sticks. 2nd and 19. They're going hurry up, though. Stafford going to be in the gun, back to his left. 2 receivers down low. Tight end receiver up top. Snap is away. Looking downfield. Heaving it downfield. Way overthrows Nakua. He was about maybe 5-6 yards in front of Nakua. Nakua wants a flag on Reek Woolen, but he's not going to get it. And I don't know what happened there. Maybe Stafford thought that Nakua was faster than he is, or let's see what happened here. Held a little bit. Woolen he obstructed him, I would say. He definitely got in his way, but I don't think it's enough for a holding or a pass interference. Stafford in the gun, back to his left. Snap is away. He's looking downfield, under pressure, immediately dumps it off, but he had to throw way before he was ready. So now it's 4th and 19 from the Seattle 39, 38. Do you go for a 56, 57-yarder, or do you punt? This is the decision that Seattle had, but this is obviously, well, they're going to punt it, yeah. I think that's the smart decision. Punt it away, pin back Seattle. So Zentner for his 2nd punt of the game. Snap is away. They're going to hope to really pin them back. It's going to be a fair catch at the 13. Not a great punt, if we're being honest. Seattle's going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line, so the interception doesn't really haunt them. Lions, 3rd and goal at the Green Bay 7-yard line. Jared Goff 4 for 4 for 26 yards. Looks like David Montgomery's been doing the majority of the running, 7 rushes for 37 yards. Lions, this is a big play here. 3rd and goal at the Green Bay 7. Montgomery goes for 2 yards. So they give the ball in their first drive 8 times to David Montgomery, and Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't touch it once. Explain that one to me. Explain that one to me, Lions. How you give the ball 8 times to David Montgomery and you don't give the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs once on that drive. I don't know. This game here, you guys said you're kind of hoping for a 0-0 game, and you might be right. Both offenses for Seattle and LA look pathetic. Chicago has to settle for a field goal against the Cardinals, so it's 7-3 Arizona over Chicago early in the second quarter. End of the first quarter between Packers and Lions. It's 3-0 Packers, but the Lions at the start of the second quarter should probably be kicking a field goal, 4th and goal from the Green Bay 5. They should tie it up 3-3. And of course here we're tied 0-0, 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Not a whole lot of action here, unfortunately. Stafford, though, willing to make the throws down the field. Himself and Puka Nacua not quite on the same page. But Nacua was looking for a holding or a pass interference. But I think if they called either of those, that would have been a really harsh call on against the Seahawks. So I think it's a good no call by the officials. But yeah, I do agree. I think the Niners are going to come out of the bye week swinging. You play the Buccaneers, which, yeah, that is a tough game, and I'm absolutely in no way, shape, or form going to overlook that game. A benefit the Niners have is, of course, we are coming off our bye week. You look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're playing Monday Night Football on the road in Kansas City. So by the time they get back to Tampa, it's going to be real late Monday night, Tuesday morning, and then they're going to have to start preparing for the 49ers. Whereas we're coming off our bye week, and then we're coming back, fingers crossed, with Christian McCaffrey. So both teams in a slightly different, when you look at things like rest and recovery, and we know Chris Godwin, he's looking to be out probably for the season. He's not looking to be out. He is going to be out. And then Mike Evans, who knows if he'll play. So we're back in action here with the Rams and the Seahawks. Seahawks get the Rams to jump offside. That's Jared Verse, the rookie out of Florida State. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now for Seattle. At their own 24-yard line, Geno in the gun, Walker to his right. Snap is away. They're going to hand it to Walker up the middle, who bounces out to the right, making guys miss. But wow, what a great tackle there. Who was that? Williams makes a really good tackle on Kenneth Walker. Only a gain of 1. If he didn't make that tackle, Walker could be running a long ways. Seattle going hurry up here, 2nd and 9. They get the Rams to jump. That's going to be neutral zone infraction. The ball flips up and it's fumbled, but it's going to be... So the Rams almost sacked Geno Smith, who lost control of the ball. However, should be at least a penalty against the Rams for a neutral zone infraction. Yeah, it's against the Rams. So again, Geno Smith gets the Rams to jump early. So instead of a fumble recovered by Seattle, losing a bunch of yards, it's going to be 2nd and 4. So this time they got Turner, and you can see the Rams defenders talking to one another, being like, let's calm down. And I think you can maybe blame that on Jared Verse. They called it on Kobe Turner, but I think that's Jared Verse who was at fault again. 2nd and 4 for Seattle at their own 29. They handed off to Walker, who gets maybe a yard or two. Another good tackle by a Rams DB. That was Williams again. That guy can play, man. He can play. Chris Shula, I'm guessing the grandson of Don. Third and 3 for Seattle at their own 30-yard line. One of those plays that's a really underrated moment in the game. Geno in the gun, Charbonnet to his left. They are going to hand to Charbonnet up the middle, and he goes maybe a yard. It's going to be 4th and 2, and that's Roseboom with the tackle to linebacker. Nowhere to go for the Seattle Seahawks. And the question, you got to punt the ball. You just have to. The Rams haven't really shown an ability to move the ball that well. I'm not crazy about the really conservative play call though. 3rd and 3, and you run the ball up the middle, and it was kind of telegraphed. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Touchdown Lions, by the way. So they went for it on 4th down, as the Lions do in Lions fashion. 7-3 Detroit over Green Bay. And it was a pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown from Jared Goff, of course. So the Rams are going to take over the ball after the punt on their own 21-yard line. Both offenses struggling quite a bit to get anything going. Just can't really pick up first downs. So not ideal. One of the things that, you see good offenses do, you're obviously picking up, key 3rd downs. You're able to pick them up, make plays happen when you need to, extend drives, get into a rhythm. But suffice to say, that has not been happening. But what a gutsy play call for the Lions. We know the Lions, this is their thing. This is what they do. They go for it on 4th down. But I don't know. There's going for it on 4th down, and then there's just being, I think, a bit foolish. But I don't know. Call me crazy. Look, it worked. It worked for them for a lot of last season. It worked for them right there. But we saw in the NFC Championship game last year, the Lions and the 49ers, that did not go well for them. Going for it on 4th down twice, they were stopped, and they were pivotal moments, which really played into the hands of the 49ers. And I think a big reason why they lost the game. Also, their defense collapsed in the second half, but we're going to be back in action. Amon-Ra is not paid that money for nothing. Ian, you're totally right. Amon-Ra, he's a very good wide receiver. Just like that slot receiver, he's kind of like Julian Edelman, but better. He can get open. Whenever it's like 3rd and 7, he's going to get you like 9 yards. Dangerous in the red zone. Yeah, Amon-Ra is really good. And what a name, too. Imagine me, what's your name? Amon-Ra St. Brown. Forget about it. 1st and 10, Rams at their own 21-yard line after the punt. You feel like an offense here, you got to get some first downs. Extend drives, get into a rhythm. Stafford behind center, 2 receivers down low. They hand the ball to the right side, and he gets swallowed up right away. It's going to be 2nd and 11 from the 20. Peter Miller. Great to see you, Peter. Hey, Shifty just sailed 90 miles and dropped anchor in Baja, California. I am jealous. That sounds awesome. Beautiful, Peter. Beautiful, man. Happy for you, buddy. Enjoy it. Hopefully the weather's nice, too. 2nd and 11 for the Rams at their own 20 now after the 1-yard loss on 1st down. Stafford in the gun. Kupp in motion. Nakua up top. Snap is away. Throws it quickly to Kupp, who kind of catches it and backs himself up to get a couple of extra yards. And it's going to be a pickup of about 5. We'll call it 3rd and 6. I'm still humming the Austin Powers song. Do-do-do-do-do. 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 Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. 3rd and 5. They're giving him a pickup of 6 on that play for the Rams. Still a minute to go in this first quarter. A slow first quarter with all the stoppages, with the punts and everything. Stafford in the gun, back to his left, Kupp in motion, 2 receivers up top, 2 down low. Snap is away. Stafford in the pocket, sidearms it, looking for Kupp, but it one-hopped, skipped into the hands of Kupp, but one-hopped it. Seahawks defender is kind of claiming that he maybe got a hand on it, deflected it, and let's see if that's the case. He did not, but Stafford had to sidearm it, and yeah. The ball just didn't have nearly enough momentum to get to it. That was Leonard Williams with the pressure. Oh, that's why. Alrighty. So this has been not the best first quarter of football, we'll say. We'll go with that. First and 10 for Seattle now. And do I need to... I actually don't even need to update where the ball is because... It's there ain't that much happening. 2nd and 8 for the Seahawks after the 2-yard pickup on first down from their own 40 now. Geno in the gun, 3 receivers to the top, 2 down low, but now Kenneth Walker motions into the backfield. So it's going to be 2nd and 8. There's less than a minute to go in the first quarter from their own 40-yard line. Snap is away, looking to throw. Throws it downfield, and that's a great play by number 24. That's Williams, who I've been really impressed with in this game. Really physical in the run game. Good coverage there. DK Metcalf on the sideline, who is not super stoked about life right now. Not happy with what he's seeing. 3rd and 8, 39 seconds to go in the quarter from their own 40. Geno in the gun, back to his right. 2 wide receivers and a tight end down low to his right. Tyler Lockett to his left. Play clock's at 5, 4, 3, 2. Snap is away. Fakes the handoff in the pocket. Steps back. Throws. Incomplete. Looking for JSN. Throw was too high. Throwing off his back foot. That's going to be difficult. 4th and 8. And we'll just say the defenses are playing really well. I don't even know if that's the case, but we'll say that. Total yards of offense, the Seahawks 64, the Rams 34. Not great. The punt for Seattle is away, and the Rams brought some pressure there. Punt is taken at the 8-yard line. He slips and gets dragged down. And that's going to be, is that Laviska Shenault? It is Laviska Shenault on the punt coverage. So the Rams are going to get the ball back, and this might be the longest quarter of football I think I've ever seen. In other news, we have the Eagles are 10-0 over the Jaguars. Cardinals 7-6 over the Chicago Bears. Bears just kicked another field goal. Lions 7-3 over the Packers, and they have the ball, the Lions do, at their own 9-yard line. Rams offense about to go back to work here. Closing out the first quarter, there's 25 seconds left to go in the quarter. Both offenses really struggling to get anything going. Stafford behind center. The back is Williams. Kupp in motion. Snap is away. Fakes the handoff. Stafford throws it. Going to be caught by Demarcus Robinson for a first down, LA Rams. That'll take us to the end of the first quarter and a big first down for the Rams. They can reevaluate things as we open up the second quarter. He can't be as disappointed in himself as much as the guy who started celebrating early and dropped the ball before. Oh, jeepers, yeah. That was Malachi Corley for the New York Jets, who did the famous, you remember when Deshaun Jackson for the Eagles did that? And basically just let go of the ball before he crossed the goal line. And yeah, that's just, it's just, man, that's bad. Like, there's no defending that. There's no, I get it. He's a rookie. I think that may have been his first touch in the NFL, but just take the ball into the end zone with you. Like, we've seen this story too many times. Like, one too many times. For it to happen once is too many times. Like, every receiver coach, they have to just keep the ball in your hands until you are well past the goal line. What are we doing? The Jets are a mess even though they won. I tend to agree with you, Ian. The Jets are... It is finally the end of a 1 hour. This quarter felt like 3 hours. There's just nothing going on in this game. And there's really not a whole lot going on in any of these games. Not like earlier. But yeah, it's been a struggle. But the Jets, they have a lot of issues. They have a lot of issues to figure out. And they've kind of gone all in, like trading for guys. They get rid of their coach. They're showing here the Fox game of the week next week is going to be 49ers Buccaneers, which is a good one. And then it's like Titans versus Chargers. Who gives a crap about that? Yeah, this first quarter was not good. I watch the Rams sometimes and I watch the Cardinals sometimes, and it just makes our losses to them that much more painful. That I'm like, how did we lose to these guys? Like, I know it was in like ridiculous fashion towards the end of the game, but how did we lose? Like, we really should be 6-2, the 49ers. Like, it's crazy. So we're starting the second quarter. Seahawks and Rams. The Seahawks cheerleaders look pretty nice. So far there's been 7 drives, 6 punts and interception. Rams from their own 23. Stafford behind center, lone back. Snap is away, fakes the handoff in the pocket, looking, throwing it downfield. Got him, man. Kupp makes the catch. Was he in bounds? They're saying no catch. Out of bounds, Cooper Kupp. And Kupp is kind of looking a bit in disbelief. He catches it left foot and right foot. Yeah, he should be in disbelief. I think if you're the Rams, if you're Sean McVay, you are going to challenge that. Officials called it incomplete, but he is clearly has possession. No, the officials are now going to say it was a catch, and I wonder if that was a call made from upstairs. Which it's interesting because, and luckily this isn't a 49ers game, but it's one of those things where you think both sideline officials said incomplete, so normally you'd be forced to use a challenge. Now Seattle throws the Why are Seattle challenging that? Now Seattle's challenging the ruling of a catch, which is a terrible call. Like, what is he doing? Like, it was called incomplete. Then the head official comes in and goes, no, it was actually a catch. And now Seattle's going to challenge that. What a terrible challenge. DJ says KC just got D-Hop and he was making plays after only 3 days of practice. Well, here's the kind of sneaky truth is that for Kansas City, it's the defense that's carrying them. It's the defense and then timely plays from Mahomes. That's how they're winning. That's all you need. Like it, but as we're seeing, like Mahomes is not like putting up big numbers this year. Like, we know that. Hmm. It's his first ever challenge as a coach. Well. 32. Well. That's a terrible challenge. Now, I don't know if you're saying that to like defend him or not, but he has guys upstairs looking at the replays. And I just think that the fact that both sideline officials were like, no catch, and then maybe less than a minute later, the head official comes over and goes, no, it actually is a catch. My guess is that he's hearing from upstairs, no, that call was wrong, so it is a catch. And then Seattle goes, you know what, let's challenge this. I think that's a bad call. I think that challenge is ridiculous. Now, look, you know what's going to happen is they're going to frickin' overturn it, aren't they? Oh, there you go. No. I'm saying a hell of a first, which isn't even close. Yeah, it was a clear catch. Yep. Okay. Thank you. We're on the same page then. For a second, I maybe just how I interpret it. I thought maybe you were defending that. That was we both agree that's a terrible decision. The catch is as clear as day. Ronald Ulrich says Seattle will go nowhere. Gino, I completely agree with you. Look, I think, they confirmed the call. So Seattle loses a timeout, but more importantly, they lose a challenge as well. And this looks to be a close game. And what were they thinking? Like, who was telling him to challenge that? 1st and 10, they hand it off to Kyron Williams, who gets up to about near midfield for a pickup of 3, 2nd and 7 coming up. I agree, though. I think the Seahawks are going nowhere with Gino. Gino is one of those guys where Gino should be a good backup. Gino should be a good backup. And even if you bring in Howell, like I get maybe you bring in Howell just to maybe get a spark or something, but you're not winning a Super Bowl. The only way you win a Super Bowl with Gino is if your defense becomes the 2000 Ravens. And you have all of your weapons who are healthy and playing at the elite level and great blocking. It's just not happening. 2nd and 7, quick throw to Puka Nacua. Really good job by the Seahawks DB. What's his name? Job? Wasn't he the Rams' old coach? Maybe he just wanted to give his old team a thank you. Did Mike McDonald, did he coach for the Rams before? Maybe. I don't know his career story. Ernest Jones was with the Rams, then got traded to the Titans, then got traded to the Seahawks, all over the place. 3rd and 7 for the Rams at their own 49. Stafford in the gun. Snap is away. Under pressure immediately. Has to heave it. Throws way before he's ready. The Rams want a flag. Well, Stafford does. He's not going to get it. 4th and 7. And the offensive juggernauts of the Rams and the Seahawks just continues. What is this game? Rams going to punt the ball to Seattle. God, these are some bad teams, aren't they? Yeah, I knew he was from Baltimore. I knew he came from Baltimore. He was with them maybe for at least the last couple of years. Before that, though, I don't know. Punt is away. It's going to be down at the Seattle 14-yard line. And, this is some game, huh? Cardinals have 3rd and goal at the Chicago 1. They're leading 7-6 over the Chicago Bears. Packers, Lions 7, Packers 3. Packers 1st and 10 at their own 48. Eagles 10-0 over the Jaguars. See what the Cardinals do here. We're at a timeout here in this game with the punt. See what the Cardinals do. Throw it to if you're going to score a touchdown, get it to Marvin Harrison Jr. because he's on my fantasy team. Neither team is really impressing me that much, and I don't know. See, if you were to look at this, you'd be like, "Oh my God, both defenses are playing amazing," and I don't feel like they are. I just feel like the offenses are dreadful. Touchdown, Arizona. Trey Benson, left tackle for a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals will be leading. Presumably, they'll kick the extra point. They do 14-6 over the Chicago Bears. 3 minutes to go in the half there. First and 10 for the Seahawks at their own 14-yard line after the punt. Reggae says a record of 16 punts in one game by the Raiders might be in trouble. You said it best, brother. I assume that was just on the rate. Just the Raiders had 16 punts, not the game. I wonder what the record for the most punts in a game is. Like in a total game, like by both teams. That Thursday night game is pretty good, huh? Cincinnati-Baltimore. Cincinnati had a big win today. Burrow with 5 touchdown throws. We're back in action. Well, I guess you can call it action. Here in Seattle. First and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Geno Smith behind center. Charbonnet is the back. Lone back. I think this is going to be a play action. It is a play action. Geno in the pocket gets sacked, and that's going to be Jared Verse. Jared Verse, the rookie out of Florida State. And although Florida State are not playing that well this year in college, some of the players that have come to the NFL who they've lost. Jared Verse here's having a really good rookie year. Renardo Green for the 49ers. Some of the Seminoles are playing real well this season as rookies. So that was 16 punts just by the Raiders, not in that game, correct? 4 QB pressures by Jared Verse. 2nd and 17 now, back at their own 6-yard line. Geno in the gun. Going to try and dump it off here for a screen, and he's got a lane, Charbonnet. Charbonnet's going and gets a first down up to the 30-yard line. Picks up about 20. Big time gain by Zach Charbonnet. And if you're the Rams, you must have anticipated a screen here. Everyone's playing so far back. Like, I get that it's like you don't want to give up the big play, but Seattle has no offensive line. They need a potential chunk play. The screen is going to be the way they would go. First and 10, Seattle at their own 30. Geno in the gun, back to his right is Walker. He hands it off to Walker up the middle, who's breaking through a couple of tackles, picks up about 4. There is a flag on the play, though, and the way that Seattle players are walking, it is holding on the offense. So it's going to be 1st and 20, back at their own 20. "31 punts in 1933. Bears-Packers. Thank you so much, Reggae, for looking that up. How many punts do we have so far here? Let's see. So 31 is the record. So we're at 7 so far in this game. So we're way behind. Yeah. Damn it. I mean, if it's going to be not a great game, at least you'd want to break a record or something, right? Nothing doing on 10-yard gain on first down and 20. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 right now for the Seahawks. Geno in the gun by himself. 3 receivers to his right, 2 down low to his left. Changing the play call. Now a couple of players motion across from one another. You got Lockett and Walker down low. I expect a quick pass here. Changing, going up and talking to his offensive line. Geno in the gun. Snap is away, and this snap goes over his head, and Geno has to cover it up, and I don't even know if he did cover it up. Is it Ram football? No, it's Seahawk football. Oh, my days. It didn't even look like the snap went over his head. It kind of did, but I don't even know if Geno was ready for it. Like, the ball came like right over this way. It wasn't like it was like way, it was like it came, and he didn't even, I don't even know if Geno was ready for that. Well, says so glad Aaron Donald retired. Yeah, that guy was unbelievable. Complete game wrecker. Now it's 3rd and 33 for the Seahawks. Watch for the screen pass. He was going to hand it off to the running back, and the running back wasn't even looking for the ball. What in the world is going on here in Seattle? I think some of the offensive linemen are kind of laughing at what happened there. If I'm the offensive line coach and the offensive coordinator, I'm going ballistic on the sideline. Look, not like you're handing off to the running back. You're going to get the first down on 3rd and 33, but Geno gets the snap, goes to hand off to the running back, and the running back has his back to him. And is like, what? So it's 4th and 30. This is punt number 8, so maybe we could be sniffing that record for the most punts in a game. FSU stinks this year. Kansas State was doing good. Yeah, everything I hear about Florida State is they are not good. I'm ready for how... Ronald, I'm guessing that you are a Seahawk fan? I think the problem with Geno is that he's just so reliant on DK Metcalf. Like, Metcalf is the guy whenever he's in trouble, and it's not a bad option when you have Metcalf, where it's like the guy is big, strong, fast, good hands. Like, not a bad option to go to him. Here comes the punt and the punt return. Jesus Christ. The Rams, what are they doing? Like, they returned the punt for maybe a yard, but what is this game? This is just a freaking joke. I don't know what is going on here. Cardinals 14-6 over the Bears. Bears have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 41 at the 2-minute warning in the first half. Packers are losing to the Lions 7-3. They have 4th and 6 at the Detroit. They just missed their field goal attempt. So the Detroit gets the ball at their own 28-yard line. They're up 7-3. Saquon Barkley just scored a 20-yard touchdown for the Eagles. Saquon's having a big game. Saquon has over 100 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. 17-0 over the lowly Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh, this game's been crazy, DJ. Crazy is one way to put it. You know how crazy this game has been? Is I need another beer. This game has been that bad. Oh, my days. What a struggle. What a struggle this game has been. I thought this might be, I actually kind of was thinking it might be a bit of a shootout with like the Rams and the Seahawks and Stafford slinging the ball and Geno Smith slinging the ball. And this has just been a nightmare. 8 punts so far in the game. Only 23 away from the record. 1st and 10 Rams. Stafford behind center. Fakes the handoff to the back. Rolls out to his right. Dumps it off to his tight end. Gets maybe 5 yards on 1st down. They just pulled the time change, so this game is like my day. 1st down Rams. Hits Puka Nacua, who gets the 1st down. Here we go, offense. Maybe the offenses can start doing some combined offense. 8 1st downs and 8 punts. Okay, 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. 1st and 10 Rams after the play to Puka Nacua. Rams moving the football now a little bit into Seattle territory at the Seattle 49. Stafford in the pistol, Williams behind him. Kupp in motion. Going to join 2 receivers up top. Snap is away. Seattle bringing pressure. Gets it off quick to the receiver who gets maybe 5-6 yards, maybe 5 yards on 1st down. Good play call there. That's, you just get a solid gain. Give yourself a 2nd and very manageable. You're at the Seattle 45-ish. Solid play by the Rams, especially because Seattle brought a lot of pressure. If both teams tried the Steve Martin, huh? What was it, The Jerk? Remember that movie, The Jerk? Stafford behind center, single back. He's going to hand it off right side. Kyron Williams is going to, there's a flag on the play, so it's a 1st down run. He ran to the right side, cut up field, but there's a flag, and it's absolutely in the area of offensive holding. So I think this is going to be coming back holding on the offense. There we go. So bring it back. I think it was maybe a few yards downfield. No, I think it was right about the line of scrimmage. So it should be 2nd and 15. I don't know. On Tyler Johnson, number 18. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. What was the one, what was the movie where Steve Martin was the guy with the really long nose? 2nd and 14. Snap is away. Stafford throws it. Caught Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp 1st down to the Seattle 35. Looked like they were going to try a quick pass. So Nacua went in motion. Looked like he was maybe going to try and get it to Nacua after the motion. It was Cut Roxanne. Good. Thank you very much, Coy Lauritsen. Yep. And Mark. But good job there by Stafford to realize that was covered, but he had Cooper Kupp open. 1st and 10 at the Seattle 33. Stafford behind center. Going to hand it off to Kyron Williams up the middle. Cuts up field. Falling forward and a pickup of, depending on the spot, maybe 7 or 8. So now the Rams offense getting a little something going here. On 3rd and 17 is what the Eagles gave the ball to Saquon. And he scored a touchdown on 3rd and 17. A run up the middle. And the Eagles are wearing the Kelly Green throwbacks. Is it just me, or is every throwback basically better than current uniforms? Stafford behind center. It's 2nd and 2 at the Seattle 25. Single back. They are going to hand it to the back up the middle. Nowhere to go, and he's going to lose a couple of yards. Good job by Seattle's defense. Jaron Reed in there with a couple of other guys too. Seahawks started 3-0, and then they've been 1-4 since, and the defense has just fallen apart, allowing over 30 points a game in their last 5. Now, that average is going to drop because I don't see the Rams doing much of anything, but the Rams are in scoring position, 3rd and 2. So luckily for the Rams, they gave them a very generous forward progress. Snap is away, looking to throw, throws it, caught. Cooper Kupp first down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 1st and 10, Rams in the red zone. Three Amigos also good. What was it? Father of the Bride, I think. I liked Father of the Bride. What else was Steve Martin in that I really liked? Yeah, The Jerk. I like The Jerk. He's a good banjo player. Interesting. I didn't know that about Steve Martin. Steve Martin just... Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That was the Steve Martin movie that I love. 1st and 10 for the Rams at the Seattle 18. Stafford behind center. Fakes the handoff. Under pressure. Steps to his left. Throws it. Should have been intercepted. It was dropped, though. Tennille Covington. Great to see you, Tennille. Yeah, we're doing a game. I haven't done much. I've just been sick, on vacation, and working the last couple of weeks. And so I had some time tonight, so I wanted to go live and chat with some of you guys. Parenthood had a lot of good... Parenthood? That sounds really familiar. But Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, that's the one with John Candy. That movie I really like. 2nd and 10 for the Rams. Stafford looking to throw quick. Under pressure in the pocket. Escapes out of it. Rolls to his left. Does a weird no-look throw for no reason. I'm glad you're feeling I am feeling a little bit better. I've been really blocked up and congested, and I think I maybe had like a sinus infection. And then my eye was acting up. But I'm feeling good enough to work and to do this. So there we go. We're getting through it. But I missed streaming. I missed hanging out with you guys. 3rd and 10 now for the Rams at the Seahawks 18. Play clock winding down in the gun. Does get it off, and then he drops the ball, and then he gets sacked. What is going on here? Snap was away, and it was a perfect snap, and then Stafford just loses it. Okay, not a perfect snap. Definitely not a perfect. It was low. But Stafford has still got to get that, right? LA Story was good. A great movie too. I have not seen LA Story. Here comes the 38-yard field goal attempt. Kick is up and it's good. So we have some points in this game, everybody. Hey. The Rams scored a field goal, so it is 3-0. At least you're not all... I am a little bit stuffed up, Gene. A little bit. Not super bad, but maybe a week ago I was really badly stuffed up. It's in the contract, no scoring until after half. I'm a little stuffed up, but it's not that bad. Arizona just scored another touchdown. DeMercado, right tackle for 53 yards. By the way, the Bears have 2nd and goal at the Green Bay 7. Dan Skipper reported in his outlet. What is this? What am I seeing? Some of these games are just really weird. Really weird. Yeah, Steve Martin. I would say my favorite Steve Martin movies were Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, number 1. I would go The Jerk, number 2. Oh, Lions. Sorry, Lions, yeah. The jerk number 2, and then number 3, probably Roxanne, and then 4, maybe Father of the Bride. Tennille says you really need the cards to lose. I tend to agree with you. Look, yeah, you definitely. It's always good if your division opponent loses, and the Cardinals right now are leading the division. But I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. The Cardinals, yeah, I mean, do I want the Bears to win? Then the Bears go 5-3, and then you have another NFC team that's, very much above 5. It's tough. It's yeah, I don't know. Sicky is in the house. How we doing? What's up, Sicky? How you doing, buddy? I am good, Sicky, and feeling better. Rocking and rolling. And yeah, we're back doing our thing here. This game, unfortunately, has been quite a disaster. There's 3:31 left in the half, and it's only 3-0 to the Rams. And we have Christian in the house. There we go. Christian, how you doing, buddy? How is the family? Yeah, I wanted to do the Rams and Seahawks just to do a game, NFC West game, and kind of size up our division opponents. And yeah, this game has been pretty brutal. We're not losing. We're not losing this week. In fact, I think we're probably winning this week. If when you think about Christian McCaffrey probably coming back. 1st and 10 for the Seahawks from their own 30 after the touchback. Geno fakes the handoff, throws it downfield, going to be caught. That's Tyler Lockett. 1st down, picks up about 13 up to the 43. Like this game is very weird, right? It's weird, but like it's not good weird. It's like bad weird. It's like this is not impressive at all. 1st and 10, yeah, they're going to say at the 42, so pick up 12. Geno changing the play. 3 minutes to go in the half. Can Seattle get a drive going here late in the first half? Geno in the gun, back to his left. 2 up top, 2 down low. Snap is away. Fakes the handoff. Looking, quick pass to his tight end, who breaks 1 tackle, then takes a big-time shot from the linebacker. That was Barner, who picks up 6. Sicky. No, you're the man, Sicky. You are ridiculous. Thank you so much, Sicky. Let's give Sicky a big shout out. 2nd and 4, quick pass to Barner again from Geno Smith down to the Rams 45-yard line, closing into the 2-minute warning. Thank you so much, Sicky. That's far too kind, man. That's super nice of you. Thank you. I really appreciate that, buddy. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Fakes the handoff. Does Geno look like he was going to launch it downfield and then hesitated, brought it back in, and then incomplete. There you go, DJ. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. DJ giving Sicky a big shout out to Sicky Aina. Sicky Aina. And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being here, too, and for hanging out. 49ers bye week, but we're doing an NFC West game. 2nd and 10 for Seattle at the Rams 45. They hand it off to Walker, who gets good yards, picks up 9 on 1st down. Or sorry, on 2nd down. It's going to be 3rd and 1 in Rams territory. We're at the 2-minute warning, but thank you so much, Sicky. Appreciate you and all the support, man. You're far too generous, dude. Far too kind, my man. Far too kind. Let's see. And then Christian, you will see, just because we go back a ways, you might see for a second, Christian, if you're still here. Oh, you are still here. That I removed you as a standard moderator, and then I made you it's called a managing moderator. So you actually have quite a bit more power with regards to what happens in terms of the chat and everything. Mark says he just watched the hit on Chris Olave. Yeah, I saw that too. It was the Saints and Panthers game, and Derek Carr threw what they call like a hospital pass. And Chris Olave in between two defenders, just either side got hit like in his neck, head area, immediately went to the ground. The last update that I saw was that he went to a hospital. He did have movement and feeling in all of his extremities, so that's obviously really good news. But that hit looked pretty brutal. And that's just, unfortunately, it's just the nature of the game. I mean, of course, you maybe want to say what was Derek Carr thinking throwing that pass, but Olave was kind of open in the moment. And so, but unfortunately, the incident, he got hit pretty badly. So hopefully he's okay. Gene says Tyreek Stevenson was taunting the fans, celebrating early and failed to cover his guy giving up the Hail Mary. I remember that. I saw the video where he's like, and the ball got snapped by Washington, and the last play of the game started, and he's still like jawing at the fans, and he turns around, then he tips the ball. Yeah, and it goes, he's the one who tipped the ball that went into the hands of the Commander player. Crazy. 3rd and 1 for Seattle. They give it to Walker up the middle, who actually doesn't get tackled initially. Looked like he might have been. Ends up picking up about 4 or 5 yards. It's a first down. We're inside the final 2 minutes. Seattle has 2 timeouts. Walker lost his cleat, though, so he has to go to the sideline. And I'm guessing Charbonnet is going to be on the field for this next play. It's 1st and 10 for Seattle at the Rams' 33-yard line. Geno in the gun, Charbonnet to his right. Snap is away, fakes the handoff. Good block from Charbonnet. Geno in the pocket, threw it to his tight end who dropped it. And I actually think it's better that he dropped it, because if he catches that, he gets tackled inbounds for a pickup of maybe 3 and the clock keeps running. So you're very welcome, Christian. I just wanted to let you know that I just did that right there, so that if you saw for a second, or maybe if you got a notification like, oh, removed as moderator, I removed it as a standard moderator and then made you as a managing moderator. So 2nd and 10, they hand it off to, and Kenneth Walker, who's back in the game, gets about 3 yards. Going to be 3rd and 7 from the Rams 30. Seattle happy to let the time keep going. If I was the Rams, maybe if my offense was playing a little bit better, I would consider calling a timeout. But we'll see what happens. 3rd and 8, and the Rams jump offside, wide open. Tyler Lockett, it's a touchdown, Seattle. Touchdown, Geno Smith hits Tyler Lockett. The Rams defender, it was an encroachment, it looked like, but they snapped the ball. The refs let the play out. I think they're saying no touchdown. No, they're saying it is a touchdown. It looked like an encroachment or a neutral zone infraction against the Rams, but they let the play out. They got the snap off, and I think the Ram DB thought for a second that the play was going to be called off, but it wasn't, and Lockett burns him. Touchdown, Seattle. And here comes the extra point attempt. There's 51 seconds, and he misses it. Oh, maybe it was blocked, partially blocked, but the kicker misses the extra point. Was it? I think it was partially blocked. Yeah, it looked like it was partially blocked. Let's see this. Slow motion zoomed in. Maybe partially blocked. Hard to see there from that angle. Lions 17-3 over the Packers. Was it an interception return for a touchdown? It was. Kirby Joseph picks off Jordan Love, returned for a touchdown. Lions 17, Packers 3. Wow, Tom Grassi's got to be in his feelings right now, huh? Well, thank you, Shifty. I'll take the responsibility. Seriously, thank you very much, Christian. That Aaron Rodgers trick, Mark. The Aaron Rodgers was notorious for that. He's okay and will be flying home with the team, says Tennille. That's regarding Chris Olave. So that's great news. I think Olave is a really good player. It's unfortunate he's stuck in a not so great situation in New Orleans, but it's great news that he's doing okay. That's always priority, absolutely priority number one. Kickoff return to the 25-yard line, 42 seconds to go in the half. The Rams do have all 3 timeouts. So you can, if you're the Rams, if you're maybe feeling a little bit more confident in your offense after the last drive, I think you go for it. You try and get in field goal range. Maybe you kick a field goal, tie it up 6-6. That's what I'd be thinking. I think Sean McVay's probably thinking the same thing. Stafford's going to come out in the gun. Williams to his right. Nakua and a tight end down low. 2 receivers up top. Kupp and I think it's Tutu Atwell. Snap is away. Stafford's looking, throws it to Cooper Kupp, picks up 5, up to the 30-yard line, gets out of bounds, 38 seconds to go. Lions have put the pedal to the metal. Grossi is unhappy. 2 converted touchdowns behind already. Yeah, I bet Grossi's not super stoked on that. Snap is away, 2nd and 5. Stafford steps into the pocket, throws it downfield, caught. And you use a timeout here. Cooper Kupp up to the 44. Tommy Huxley, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tommy. Happy birthday to you. 47. There you go, buddy. You're 10 years older than me. There you go, Tommy. Happy birthday, buddy. Hopefully you're having a good one. Hey, look, at least it's stress-free because the Niners aren't making our heart rate go a million miles an hour because of sometimes the stupidity that the 49ers play with. So at least you have a stress-free birthday. It could be the Lions' year. We'll see. The Niners will have a lot to say about that. 33 seconds to go. Rams at their own 44. Stafford throwing it deep! Intercepted by Reek Woolen. Intercepted. Or no, they're saying he was down by contact. And there's a flag on the play. What's the flag? Appreciate it, bro. Not bad singing either. Well, thank you very much. A little hungover. Hey, if you're not hungover on your birthday or the day after your birthday, something's wrong. You know, I'm considering the fact that maybe you're working or something tomorrow, so you probably went out last night and had drinks last night for your birthday. But hey, you got a party, man. 47's the new 23, man. Looking for Stafford was looking for Nakua downfield, intercepted by Reek Woolen. I think he was down by contact though. What's the flag on the play? Is it maybe like excessive celebration or something like that? Rams offense looks like it's maybe still on the field though. They're talking to Sean McVay. I mean, that's a good catch from Reek. Oh, was he down? But they kind of... Because the play was called dead, so he kind of has to be down by contact, right? Because they didn't let the play continue. I think he was down by contact. Big time interception, though. Stafford throwing it up there. Personal foul against the Rams. So maybe Seattle, with the 15 yards added, I don't know what this means. I don't have the volume on, but I don't know what that means. Oh, Nakua kind of threw a fist at, that's what the flag was. Nakua threw a punch towards a Seattle player. Puka Nakua, 1 catch for 11 yards on 4 targets. Yikes. So that'll be 15 yards added to the end of the interception. So 1st and 10 Seattle at their own 40, 27 seconds. They have 2 timeouts. Geno empty backfield in the shotgun, looking to throw. Throws it quickly, and there's flags all over the place. Looked like a screen pass, but the Rams were all over it, and I don't even know. Sicky says, who are we rooting for, Rams or Seattle? Not that I care about either. I don't care about either one either, but I don't really know. Maybe a tie game? So it's a holding against Seattle. So now it's 1st and 20. I think if you're Seattle now, 1st and 20 at your own 30-yard line, I mean, you have the 2 timeouts. So Geno's in the gun, empty backfield. And they got the Rams to jump offside. Free play. Geno heaves it downfield. Wide open is Tyler No, it's Jackson Smith-Njigba. Jackson Smith-Njigba, they get the Rams to jump offside again. And Geno heaves the ball downfield because he has a free play. It's the Aaron Rodgers special. Free play, heaves it downfield. JSN was open. Penalty is going to be obviously declined. And the Seattle Seahawks are now in field goal range. They could potentially be looking for a touchdown here. Jared Verse, for the 3rd time in the first half, is offside. Nice route combination, too, by Seattle. Down to the Rams 24. It's better for us if Seattle wins because we own a tiebreaker against them, but I can't bring myself to want them to win. Seriously, you're right. Maybe a tie, but I don't know if I could watch this game for like 5 quarters. Rams don't look so good without the officials moving the ball for them, says Brian. That's true. Although I completely blame the 49ers, top to bottom, for the loss against the Rams. The special teams, the defense, the offense. Well, not the offense. I blame Ronnie Bell. I blame the defense and the special teams for that loss. In the shotgun, Geno Smith back to his right from the Rams 24. Geno heaving it towards the end zone. Did he catch that? I think he maybe caught that. Jackson Smith-Njigba, they're saying incomplete, but it's going to be automatically reviewed. It's within 2 minutes. He has it. Right foot. He only has the right foot. Never mind. He did catch that, but he only had his right foot in bounds. I mean, if I'm Seattle, I'd probably go to the end zone a couple more times here. Geno empty backfield in the gun. 3 receivers on low, 2 up top. Snap is away. Looking. Heaves it to the end zone. It's a touchdown, Seattle. And that's Jackson Smith-Njigba, the second-year man out of Ohio State. And that's a big-time drive for the Seattle Seahawks. And that's Geno Smith doing a great job there. I'm super critical of Geno Smith, and I don't think he's that good, but he did very well on that drive. Hang in the pocket, and what again? Another great route combination where the Rams DBs, they just didn't know who to cover who. Here comes the extra point. It's going to be 13-3 Seattle over the Rams as we're getting close to halftime. 5 seconds to go. Geno is not a good quarterback. I will agree with everyone on that. But that was a good drive. He got them to jump offside, and then he recognized the play was still live. He throws it downfield, and then he's hung in the pocket tough there, made a play. Made a play. I still think that neither of these teams are very good, but Dallas lost, so we all win a little bit this week, says Brian. Yeah, you are spot on with that. Anytime Dallas loses, I don't know if I could bring myself to root for a Dallas win unless it directly had a significantly positive impact on the 49ers if the Dallas Cowboys won. If the Cowboys win, it means the 49ers get to the playoffs. Of course, in that scenario, I would root for the Cowboys to win. But ideally, I would never have to do that. Kickoff return for the Rams up to the 23. It's halftime here, folks. Seahawks come alive towards the end of the half. They lead 13-3. We're at halftime. Not the best game by any stretch of the imagination, but we're hanging tough. A Dallas and Packers loss equals smile, so that's a win. Who did the 49ers play in last season's playoffs as DJ? We played the Packers and then the Lions at home, and then we went to the Super Bowl. Tennille says, rather poke your eyeballs out with a rusty nail than root for the Cowboys. Oof, yeah. Look, only if it directly, positively impacts the 49ers would I ever bring myself to root for them. We played, you're right, Tommy. It was Green Bay and Detroit. I can't ever imagine rooting for Dallas, and thank God that scenario has never happened in my lifetime. Yeah, I hope that scenario never happens, but that's the only scenario that I could imagine rooting for the Cowboys, is if it means, the 49ers, Cowboys beating whoever they're playing means the Niners get to the playoffs or something significant. What do you reckon about all these trade rumors, Shifty, says Ian? There's always going to be a ton of rumors swirling around this time of the year. And we know the 49ers are very active when it comes to the trade deadline. I said at the very start of the stream, but we have more people here now. You look back to 2017, you trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. You look back to 2019, you trade for Emmanuel Sanders. 2021, you trade for Charles Omenihu. 2022, you trade for Christian McCaffrey. Last year, you trade for Chase Young. Before that, you traded for Randy Gregory. The Niners are active when it comes to the trade deadline. If I had to guess, offensively, if we assume that McCaffrey should be back healthy, then I think potentially a wide receiver you trade for. I don't think it's going to be anyone groundbreaking by any means, but I think I would look at a guy like Kendrick Bourne. Again, not the biggest name by any means, but I think it would be, let's say, Kendrick Bourne and a 6th round pick for like a 5th round pick or something like that. But Kendrick Bourne, of course, he knows the offense. He knows Kyle Shanahan. He knows the San Francisco 49ers. And he could fit in fairly seamlessly. And if I remember, Kendrick Bourne was pretty solid for us in the red zone. If I remember back, he had a number of red zone touchdowns in the playoffs against the Minnesota Vikings. In that epic game against the Saints, he had 1 or 2 touchdown receptions against the Saints in the red zone. So that could be an option where you have Debo, you have Jawan Jennings, you have Ricky Pearsall, then you have Kendrick Bourne as number 4, and then you have Cowing or whoever is wide receiver 5. So that's a possibility right there. Maybe you look at a tight end like a Tyler Conklin from the Jets. Defensively, I'm looking at guys like Azeez Ojulari from the New York Giants. I'm looking at potentially a defensive tackle like Calais Campbell from the Dolphins, maybe a Sebastian Joseph Day from the Tennessee Titans. No groundbreaking moves, but I think we could see moves happen. Niners play the Lions for NFC Championship. You're totally right. Back to work, says Sicky. All right, thank you so much, Sicky. And again, Sicky, thank you so much for your super generous super chat. I really, really appreciate that, man. You go above and beyond. Thank you so much. Saquon Barkley, what was that move? That was ridiculous. He did like a backwards jump hop over a defender. I don't even know how to describe it. That scenario did happen in soccer, though, says Christian. USA needed Mexico to win a game to qualify for the World Cup, so we were rooting for our rivals, and they lost. Bummer. Yeah, so I expect the 49ers to be involved in a lot of trade rumors. I would, again, hesitantly say that I would expect a trade, but nothing blockbuster. Nothing blockbuster like trading for Christian McCaffrey or trading for Jimmy Garoppolo back in 2017. Maybe something the equivalent to a trading for Emmanuel Sanders. Of course, we lose Brandon Ayuk. He's done for the year, obviously. So I think maybe we look to add a receiver. Now, we're going to be getting Jawan Jennings back healthy after the bye week, but maybe I think you need to have that depth at the receiver position. Cardinals 21-9 over the Chicago Bears, and they have 3rd and 5 at the Chicago 20, nearing the halfway point in the third quarter. Marvin Harrison Jr. has 1 catch for 21 yards, and he fumbled the ball too. So that's not good for my fantasy. God freaking damn it. How about the Washington Commanders at 7-2? Christian says, I expect something like depth at DE or DT. The Bears suck, says Tommy. God, imagine being a Bears fan last week with that Hail Mary from Jaden Daniels and Tyreek Stevenson. Good Lord. Like there's ways to lose games, and we as 49er fans, we know how to lose big games in some bad ways. But holy smokes, losing on a Hail Mary like that is brutal. I expect something like, I think you're right, Christian. I'm looking at maybe like an Azeez Ojulari from the Giants. Yeah, Calais Campbell from the Dolphins. Maybe a Sebastian Joseph Day from the Titans. And he was with the Niners last. Again, as you said, I think it will be like a depth piece. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be trading like a 2nd or 3rd round pick. I think it might be like maybe we trade for someone like, let's say for the Giants for Azeez Ojulari, who's in the last year of his contract. It's like maybe we give the Giants a 4th round pick and we get Azeez Ojulari and a 6th round pick or something like that. That's just my guess. But I don't expect anything groundbreaking. Not like the Christian McCaffrey trade. All right, finally the Lions are giving the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs. So fantasy-wise, I'm okay with that. Alrighty. Alrighty, Ruski. The player found out he wasn't starting, so he left practice. That player found out he wasn't. What player? Sorry, who was I talking about? Steve-O? Mark says Jordan Love is having an awful game. 56 passer rating in the first half. I think that maybe that Lions defense is just that good, though. It might just be that good. Who's available that would be groundbreaking? That's a good question as well. The Bears guy who dropped the ball. Tyreek Stevenson, was it? I picked the slackers too. I'm getting destroyed in pick'ems. Yeah, I've kind of just having been away for a while. I've lost track of my predictions, and I haven't made predictions the last couple of weeks just because for like traveling and work and being sick. So I took the predictions thing off just because. I'm just way out of the loop on that. Who's available that would be groundbreaking? That's a good question. Let's see. Who would be groundbreaking? I think if you traded for... I'm trying to think of some of the teams who are not doing well. Like if you traded for like a Myles Garrett, but there's zero chance the Browns would ever trade him. Maybe like a Cam Jordan from the Saints if he's healthy. Maybe a FTTB Niners says, yo, my bad for being late. Big game for the Niners next week, huh? You're right, man. You are right. It's a massive game. The good news for the 49ers is, of course, we'll be coming off our bye week. The Buccaneers, they're playing tomorrow night. They're playing Monday Night Football in Kansas City. Then they have to go back. We're coming off an extra week of rest, and they're going to be on a short week. So, and there's no Chris Godwin, potentially no Mike Evans as well. So if you're the 49ers, I think that's a great opportunity to really improve. Maybe like a Harold Landry from the Tennessee Titans, Christian. The edge rusher, Harold Landry or Jeffrey Simmons. I don't think the Niners, see, it's tricky because where things are now with regards to the cap is that the Niners need obviously to keep space to pay Brock Purdy next year. So I don't know if the Niners are even in a position to do a groundbreaking trade. But I would have to look at who were some of the guys available who were big names, but in the last year of their contract, where you're kind of like, maybe you're kind of pushing not all of your chips, but you're pushing a hefty portion of your chips into the table to play your hand. That's just kind of what I'm thinking. Crosby would be awesome. Max Crosby from the Raiders, yeah, there's no way. You're not trading him. Like, the Raiders are not trading. Unless if a team, like, the only way the Raiders would trade Max Crosby is not like a good team, not like the Chiefs or someone like a bad team. Let's say like the Patriots or the Titans or someone like that, the Saints or the Panthers, say, we'll give you 2 first-rounders. Because then you know, hey, these 2 first-rounders, they're both going to be top 5, top 10 picks. And it also, we don't have to pay big money to, but even then, I don't know if they would do that. We need defensive edge players. We need more pressure on the opposing quarterback, says Ian. I think Azeez Ojulari, the guy for the Giants, he has 6 sacks this year. I think if he came to the Niners, he'd probably be the leading sack player. And I think he'd be a good fit for the 49ers. That pushes Leonard Floyd to a rotational role. That pushes Sam O to a rotational pass rushing role. And that's kind of what you need, especially as, you're playing really good opponents. If you can have a good rotation of edge rushers, where every time, every snap, regardless of who's out there, you have capable and competent edge rushers. That makes it really difficult on an offensive line. Really difficult. Lions at the Green Bay 15-yard line. 4th and 1 at the Green Bay 15. You know the Lions are going to go for that 4th down. 100% they're going to go for it. I would kick the field goal and go up by 3 scores, but, Lions will go for it. Second half starting here in Seattle. Seahawks kicking off to the Rams. We can get like a 1-year rental like we did with the last year with Young. I would have to, I agree with, and I would do that. 1-year rental player. Kickoff is away, taken at the goal line up to the 25-yard line. I would be all for that. And I would have to look specifically at the players who are on the teams who are not doing well, who are sellers basically at the trade deadline, who have a good player who's in the last year of his deal. And I'm sure there are some players out there, no question about it. I don't know. And I would make the trade if I'm the 49ers, especially, you feel like McCaffrey's coming back healthy. Greenlaw's going to be back maybe in a month or so. Hufanga possibly coming back to play. He'll have a club on his hand. But, and the division is wide open, then, yeah, I think you make a trade if you're the 49ers for someone like that. 1st and 10 for the Rams here after the kickoff return. Is there a player down hurt on the field? There is for the Rams, and there's going to be a timeout on the field. And the Lions did go for it, and they did score a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs with the touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs. So Jahmyr Gibbs on 4th down gets a 15-yard rush for the touchdown. Lions 24, Packers 3. Holy smokes. The Lions just dominating the Green Bay Packers. But there's a lot of time left in that game. 24-9 Cardinals over the Bears too. Player hurt for the LA Rams. Too bad we can't fleece Washington again this year. I don't know if Chase Young was okay for us. He was good in the Super Bowl. But I think Azeez Ojulari is the guy that you target, for an edge player. I think Sebastian Joseph Day for the Titans at defensive tackle. Our Calais Campbell from the Dolphins. Calais Campbell, he's someone who's probably going to retire maybe at the end of this season or next season. He's on a floundering Miami Dolphins team that maybe he wants to get out of there. He comes to the Niners, a team that's poised to, go to the playoffs, and maybe he feels rejuvenated, that sort of thing. Willis coming in, I think. Willis who? I hate to say the 49ers are going to get destroyed by the Lions as Ben. Nah, I don't think so. We play each other later in the season. So here, I understand why you say that, that we would get destroyed, Ben. I completely understand why you'd say that, but the NFL is a very long season. This is week 9. We play the Lions week 17. There's another 8 games between when we play. Another 8 games between right now and when we play them. Who knows who's going to get injured? They're playing really, and they're peaking right now. But is it a bit too early? And can the 49ers, can we hit our stride like we've done the last 3 years? And I think a guy like Nick Sorensen, the defensive coordinator, he has, now he has 8 games under his belt. He has a bye week. He's seen a lot of, we've played a lot of, a fair amount of good offenses, good coaches we've gone up against. He's going to get better too. 2nd and 4 for the Rams here at their own 31. They pitch at Kyren Williams, who's got a lane, big gain, and he fumbles the ball, but it's recovered by Cooper Kupp and gets up to the 41. Kyren Williams took a big-time hit from a Seattle defender, Kobe Bryant, I think, and that's an interesting name to say. Fumbled the ball, did Kyren Williams, recovered by, the ball went backwards, recovered by Cooper Kupp, who picked up a few yards. Wonder Bread Sorensen is trash. Let's give him a shot, especially with Greenlaw coming back. Stafford under pressure in the pocket, caught though. What a throw by Matthew Stafford. Under pressure immediately after the play action, but able to kind of, and this is what Brock Purdy does so well, is that Brock Purdy will throw it and then kind of protect himself so he doesn't take a big hit. Stafford did that exactly. Caught by DeMarcus Robinson downfield, and the Rams are on the move. First, we need a winning record, then the division, then I'll be open to any. Well, the trade deadline's in 2 days, so if we're going to be trading for people, we got to do it now. Snap is away. Stafford fakes the handoff. That play was going nowhere. Seattle read that like a book. 2nd and 10 coming up here for the LA Rams. Kupp is worth the money. Oh, he's been hurt a lot too, but Kupp is a very good player. I thought we would get destroyed by the Lambs in 2021 first game, but we destroyed them. In 2021, I'm trying to think about that game. We did end up beating them, yes. I'm trying to think about that. I'm trying to remember that game. Was it a Sunday Night Football or Monday night, I think? 2nd and 10 from the Seahawks 38. Stafford throws it quickly. Caught by Cooper Kupp. That's a great catch right there. Picks up 9 yards. There was a player draped all over him. Mike McDonald says his defense needs to be more poised and violent. No more self-inflicted wounds. Well, we'll see how that goes for Seattle. 3rd and 1 here for the Rams. Rams are in field goal range. I'll tell you who isn't worth the money. Dak Prescott. You're right about that. Oh, I remember that game, Tommy. Was that when Jimmy threw it to Debo quickly and Debo kind of snatches it and then took it off for a touchdown? 3rd and 1, they hand it off to the running back to get the first down at the Seattle 28-yard line. Or am I thinking of 2022, Tommy? When Jimmy got it and then threw it quickly and then Debo just kind of snatches it and then takes off to the end zone. Dak, I think, did leave the game. Yeah, I saw Cooper Rush was playing. I think CD Lamb got injured as well. 1st and 10 for the Rams inside the Seahawks 28. Stafford behind center. Pitches it down low to Kyren Williams. Cuts upfield. Nice run on first down for the Rams. Picks up about 8.5, 9. A boo-boo in his hand, says DJ. Oh, that's funny. No, that was 2022. So what was the game? I'm trying to think of 2021 then, when we beat the Rams. Was that when Stafford I remember early in the game when Stafford just like launched the ball and it was intercepted, I think, by Jimmy Ward. Was that 2021? 2nd and 10 for the Rams. Stafford behind center, hands off to Kyren Williams at the middle. First down, Rams inside the 15-yard line of the Seahawks. There's a flag on the play, though. If this is a holding against the Rams, that would be brutal. It was a blowout. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, I remember that early in the game. Yeah, Stafford, I think, was looking for Odell Beckham downfield. And I remember he just heaved it downfield, and Jimmy Ward intercepted it. Illegal use of hands against the Seahawks. Things just getting worse and worse for Dallas. Yeah, I think that CD Lamb, because I saw he wasn't in there late in the game when Dallas still kind of technically had a shot against the Falcons. There's nothing more I like than watching the 49ers, but there is something nice about having a stress-free weekend where you don't have to worry about, So after the penalty, illegal use of hands against the Seahawks, it's first and goal for the Rams inside the 10-yard line. Snap is away. Stafford fakes the handoff, dumps it off to Kupp. There's nowhere he can go. Loses a yard. Second and goal from the 10 coming up. Andy Scott, how are we doing? Hey, Shifty, just saw you were suffering watching the Rams and Seahawks. Thought I'd log on to give you a thumbs up. Anyway, what are you doing wearing my shirt and cap? You've been raiding my wardrobe. Andy, how are you, man? How are you? Yeah, this game is not the best game I've ever seen, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we're getting through it. It seems to be heating up a little bit. Second and goal for the Rams at the Seahawks 10. Under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Stafford in the gun. That was maybe a false start or a legal shift. Yeah, the flag is thrown. So the Seahawks can either choose third and goal from the 5 or else second and goal from the 15. Hey, look, Andy, if you're dressed like me, then we're both just well-dressed men. That's what I have to say. That's all I have to say about that. And I know Allison would agree, right? Allison would agree. Choking would be illegal use of hands. You can't do like a Darth Vader kind of. So yeah, they're going to go with second and goal from the 15. When we started calling SoFi Levi South, yeah. Second and goal from the 15 for the Rams. Stafford in the gun back to his left. Tight end receiver down low, 2 receivers up top. They do get the snap off in time. He's got good protection. Throws it downfield. That's going to be a flag against the Seahawks. And you can see the Seattle defenders' reaction against Job. Looking for Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp might just be a really good actor. I need to see this again. Yeah, that looked like it was their feet that got tripped up over one another. I don't think that's a penalty. I think that's a bad call by the refs. But with that penalty being called, it is now first and goal for the Rams. There is 9:08 left in the third quarter. It's going to be first and goal from the 2-yard line. Stafford behind center. Williams is the back. Snap is away. Hands it off to Williams, who gets maybe half a yard or a yard. So second and goal from the 1 coming up. What is going on with the Packers? Jacksonville getting big time back into the game against Philadelphia. It's 22-16. Philadelphia over the Jaguars. 5 minutes left in the third. Second and goal for the Rams. Stafford behind center. Williams the lone back. Tight end in motion. Snap is away. Fakes the handoff. Rolls to his right. And it's going to be a touchdown. L.A. Rams. DeMarcus Robinson. We started calling SoFi Levi South 2020. That was 2021, Christian. That was the butt counts. Yeah, that was 2021. That was week 17 at the Rams. The butt, Embry Thomas with the interception. Andy says, we are good, bro. Got next 2 days off. So do I. That's awesome. Trust you I had a great time in London. It was awesome going to the game with my buddy Joe, who lives in Shepperton. My buddy Joe lives in Shepperton, outside of London. But yeah, we had a great time at the game. Tottenham Stadium is beautiful. The stadium itself is awesome. The layout is really awesome. It looks like it was designed for NFL games. Obviously, it was designed for Tottenham Hotspurs, but It looked like it was designed for NFL games. The setup was really good. The fans were great. You know, the game wasn't that great because the Bears just destroyed the Jaguars. But even still, like the fans were super into it. And yeah, it was a great time. I would absolutely go again. Hit the like button, y'all. Yeah, thank you very much, Tommy. I'm just having a great time hanging out with you guys, watching this game and just drinking beers. It's a good time. Correction, January. Yeah, you were right. January, which was no, Christian. It would have been 22. January 22. It was the 2021 season. The 2020 season is when we had all the injuries that ended up having the number 9 overall pick. Then we traded up to get Trey Lance. It was the 2021 season. Looks like Shifty's gone for a water. Not quite a water. Go for a beer. So we are back in action. I got to update the scoreboard. Geno Smith fakes the handoff, and he's going to scramble. Gets upfield for about 3 yards. So it's going to be, it's 13-10, and Seattle have the ball. There's 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Did I do that? 2nd and 7 for Seattle at their own 33. Geno Smith flags on the play. That's going to be a false start against the offense. At least we won't be losing this weekend, Andy. You're right about that. It is a very stress-free weekend for us 49er fans because every single game I feel like has been incredibly stressful for the 49ers. What was the game that we just like dominated and won? Maybe the Jets game? Yeah. So here we go. Seahawks, 2nd and 7 at their own 28. Geno in the gun back to his right. 2 receivers up top. Snap is away. And he gets sacked. Wow. That's Byron Young. Good job by the Rams defense. That's going to be 3rd and long now for Seattle. Seattle's offensive line has really struggled. Water of life. A beer. Love it. Yeah, the Jets game was probably the one game that was like fairly comfortable. 3rd and 17 for the Seahawks. Throws it downfield. Wide open is Jackson Smith, and Jigba gets first down yardage and way more. And a huge gain by JSN. And he's mouthing off to the Rams DBs. And I don't know what coverage. Yeah, there was a blown coverage there for the Rams. You had a couple of Rams defenders who were both in the exact same spot. There is a flag on the play, and it might potentially be against JSN. Oh, yeah, the Patriots one. That's a good one, too, yeah. What's the flag on the play? Against Turner, is it, for illegal use of hands? Wow, that play has been ruled out. 3rd and 26, and Walker gets about maybe 10 yards or so. It looked like a Ram defender got hit awkwardly there by his own guy. What was the call there against Seattle? Ian says, I've been supporting the Niners since 79. It's been stressful since then. I mean, look, hey, there's 5 Super Bowls you've got to see, so we'll take it. 5 Super Bowl wins. 4th and 19. I don't even know what happened there. Punt is away from Seattle. Not a great punt. Rams will have it at the 35. You're 6-5. I feel like this week has been really weird though for like games. I did my beer drinking yesterday while BBQing. DJ, that's the life, man. What are some of the college teams that? And this is actually not only a question for you, Gene, but for everyone. What are some of the college teams that you guys like? I didn't go to college in the U.S. I grew up and went to college in Ireland, so I don't really have a team, a college team. I kind of like Notre Dame just because of Joe Montana and then because they're the Fighting Irish. But I don't have a particular allegiance to any college team. So I'd be curious to see who you guys root for. Looking around the league, so Eagles 22, Jaguars 16, third quarter, Eagles have the ball. Cardinals 27, Bears 9 in the fourth quarter, 12 minutes to go. Packers are losing 24-3 to the Lions, 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Packers are on the move, though. They are at the Detroit 14-yard line, 1st and 10. So Tennille likes Notre Dame and North Carolina State. The NC State, what's their team name? The NC State Wolfpack, is it, or something? USC, says Tommy. The Trojans. You got the Ducks, Oregon Ducks, says Mark. This is going to be a throwback to Neil, but I remember we drafted in 2006 in the first round. We drafted Manny Lawson. Yeah, Wolfpack, yeah. We drafted Manny Lawson with the 22nd overall pick. I really thought he was going to be really good. He was okay. He wasn't bad, but I really liked Manny Lawson. FAU, says Christian, but I root for most Florida schools because we're not Power 4. From Kansas, you got K-State and KU. Let's see. Detroit doing very well. Yeah, you're right, Andy. Detroit they're playing really well, but I think the one thing that we can maybe hang our hat on is that we beat them last year. But not only that, maybe they're peaking a little bit too early. Just saying. Just saying. Back in action here. Rams and Seahawks. 1st and 10 for the Rams. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Rams are at their own 35. Stafford behind center. Kyren Williams the lone back. Man in motion is Tutu Atwell. Zone coverage for the Seahawks. Fakes the handoff. Stafford looking. Throws it downfield. He's got Tutu, who actually dropped the ball. When Tutu Atwell played against us in week 3. He was looking like Jerry Rice out there. Here he can't even catch. Unbelievable. Rooting for the Florida. So Florida State, you got Miami Hurricanes, you got the Florida Gators, Kansas State. What's the Kansas State? Is it it's not Wildcats, is it? And then you got the KU, Kansas University. What are they? They're the Kansas. They're like a bird, isn't it? 2nd and 10 for the Rams. Over the middle, Demarcus Robinson, who kind of goes awkwardly backwards, only a 2-yard gain. What's the Jayhawks? So the Kansas Jayhawks and then the K-State, I think it's Wildcats, is it? Mississippi Mud Dogs. Oh, is that yeah, Jayhawks. Yeah. 3rd and 8 for the Rams at their own 37 now. Stafford, snap is away. Looking, he's got time in the pocket. Scrambles up, does a weird no-look passy thing to Colby Parkinson. There's a flag on the play. Stafford seems to think it's a defensive holding, which would be 5 yards and an automatic first down. It is. It's going to be illegal touching, is it, or something? Illegal contact. Go Canes this year, Wildcat. Now that I need to go to bed before I'm accused of being a Lamert. Andy, you head off to bed, man. You know as well as I do, it's late in this part of the world. But you have a good night. Hey, look, next Sunday against the Buccaneers, the game's at 6 p.m. So there you go. 1st and 10 Rams after that big penalty against the Seahawks defense. They pitch it down low to Kyren Williams to the right side. He has to cut back towards the middle. Ends up falling forward for about 5 or 6 yards. There is a flag, though, and this might be offensive holding. When a play goes like that, and then you have to cut back, it goes way to the right, it is holding on the offense, so... No 5. And there's actually holding on the defense too. So those penalties, they offset. So it's actually going to be a replay of first down. That's a big call against the defense as well. But Andy, you have a really good night. We'll see you next Sunday. Hopefully yourself and Allison can join. Buccaneers, 49ers in Tampa Bay, in Florida, which we've been talking about. 1st and 10, Rams replaying the down. Andy, always a pleasure, my good friend. And they hand it off to Kyren Williams, left tackle, gets about 3-4 yards. College football is a mystery. College football, there's so many teams, and yeah, I think you have to kind of pick and choose what, I mean, if you have someone who's a hardcore, unless that's what you do for your job, where you can like watch football all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and maybe if you don't have a wife or a partner, otherwise there's no way you can be a college football fanatic and an NFL fanatic where you know what's going on. 2nd and 7. Stafford fakes the handoff, dumps it off to Kyren Williams, who's got a lane up to the 40, 35, 30 inside the 30-yard line of the Seahawks. 1st down and 10, Rams. The Mizzou Tigers. Oh, that's who you like, DJ. So let's see some of the teams. So I'll try and pick some of my favorite players from some of the teams mentioned. Notre Dame, of course, is going to be, Joe Montana. NC State, I'm going to go with Manny Lawson. Oregon Ducks, my favorite player from Oregon. Whew, let's go Diamador Lenore. USC. 1st and 10 for the Rams. Fakes the handoff to Stafford. Get good blocking. Gets Cup. And he's going to get about 8 yards. Maybe tippy toes and gets about 9. College teams try crazier plays, trick plays and stuff. It is true that look, of course, blowouts happen in the NFL, but sometimes you see like prime, like Alabama with Nick Saban against some nobody school, and it's like, oh, we won like 67-3, and it's like, why? 2nd and 1 for the Rams at the Seattle 20. Stafford behind center, hands it off to Kyren Williams. Bust through the line. That's a first down, Rams inside the 15 to the 14. Raiders fan chick had her sonogram and could see the child already had a warrant. Tommy, that is very funny. I think that's very funny. It might not be everyone's type of humor or what have you, but I think that's pretty funny. I watch stuff, but a lot of it seems to be men's versus boys. That's the thing, Ian. There's a lot of like, I mean, again, the NFL, you do get blowouts, obviously, but some of the games, it's like, it's freaking Iowa A&M against prime, Clemson with Deshaun Watson, even though we all know Deshaun Watson, but, against prime whoever, Tim Tebow, Florida Gators, and they win by like 60 points. Like, who cares about that? So we had some of my favorite players from the teams mentioned. So Ducks, Diomedor Lenore, Notre Dame, Joe Montana, NC State will go Manny Lawson. USC, let's go Talanoa Hufanga. K-State, Elijah Lee and DJ Reed. I like DJ Reed a lot, and we let him go to Seattle. Now he's doing really well with the Jets. From Kansas. Isn't that where Dominic Pooney? Was Dominic Pooney from Kansas? Or am I crazy? The Canes, Frank Gore, easy. Mizzou Tigers. Let's go with Justin Smith. That is not Guinness, Tommy. Mizzou Tigers, we'll go Justin Smith. FAU, Alfred Morris. Yeah, between those, I'd go Aziz Al-Shire for sure. Mizzou Tigers for sure. Justin, I know we didn't draft him. The Bengals drafted him, but Justin Smith was a monster with the 49ers. 1st and 10, Rams at the Seahawks 14. Stafford behind center. Kyren Williams now motions out left. Stafford looking to throw. Brings it back in, looking corner of the end zone. Almost intercepted and not a good throw. Players who played for the 49ers, yeah. Not a good throw from Stafford. I think he needed to put a little bit more on that to just make sure it goes out of bounds. Then the Rams tight end kind of had to play almost DB there to prevent the interception. And the Reek Woolen, the Seahawks DB, is kind of looking for a flag there. Oh, Tommy, I get my fair share of Guinness in, but when I don't drink Guinness from a can. I'll drink it at a bar. But 2nd and 10, Rams at the Seahawks 14. They hand it off to Kyren Williams on the delay. Gets about 2 yards. 3rd and 8 coming up from the 12. If you're the Rams, you have the momentum. You kind of feel like you need to take the lead here. Now, of course, it's going to depend on what happens here on 3rd down. But I think just tying up the game when you've had momentum for a while, I don't think that feels like it's enough. Less than 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. It's 3rd and 8 for the Rams at the Seahawks, maybe 13. Stafford in the gun, Kyren Williams to his left. You got Tutu Atwell, Kupp, and Johnson down low. He's looking up top, though. Heaves it. Incomplete. No flags on the play. The Rams want a flag, but there should not be one. There's no way, even if there is a late flag, why would they throw a flag on that? There's no, I'm a 49ers fan. I don't know why I'm getting worked up about this. I just don't like bad officiating. Stafford did get leveled. That's what the flag was. Stafford, was that Derek Hall. I remember Derek Hall last week he got into a big shouting match with Jaron Reed, wasn't it? Or was that 2 weeks ago when they played against the Niners? We got 46 people in here, guys. Cheers. Ugh, that's a tough call. I think Stafford sold that like where it made it look way worse than it was. Way to reel yourself in. I don't know if I agree with that call. I think Stafford sold it well. I mean, that's you play the game. First and goal for the Rams at the Seahawks 6. Stafford fakes the handoff, rolls to his left. Easy. Ooh, that's close to a touchdown. The ref is going to mark him short. Down to the 1. I'm going to the Opera tonight. Second and goal for the Rams at the 1. They hand it off to Kyron Williams. Good tackle there by the Seahawk. Was that the linebacker? Number 30. Oh, yeah, Ernest Jones, who started the 2024 offseason campaign or what have you with the Rams, got traded to the Titans, and then got traded to the Seahawks. Good tackle by him. Loss of a yard or two. Seeing Michael Corleone's son in Godfather 3. Not the that Godfather 3. Not a huge fan of that movie. I liked 1. 2 was okay. Well, 2 was pretty good actually, but I liked Godfather 1. I think when you say, it sounds like you're, Tommy, when I see the spelling, it's like Oprah, as in like Oprah Winfrey. Who is the college version of the Cowboys, a team we all hate? That really depends on, it just depends on, like, if you're a Cal, let's say if you like Cal, like Berkeley, you hate Stanford. You probably hate UCLA as well. If you're a Stanford person, you hate Cal, or, you know, it really depends. Yeah, 3 sucked. Yeah, I'm back for a few minutes, Nick. Hell yeah. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of 3. I thought Godfather 1 was really good. 2 was pretty darn good, but 3 was. Yeah. Let's take a look around the NFL. Cardinals 29-9 over the Bears. Are you talking about opera, like classical music? The Longhorns. Yeah. Who was the college? There you go, Tommy. Yeah. Opera, I didn't think I'd be talking about opera doing a football stream, but it's not really my thing, but I mean, I have to absolutely appreciate the talent, and you know, it takes a lot more talent to write an amazing opera piece than it does like a pop punk song. So I can appreciate the talent and that goes into it, but it wouldn't be what I would normally listen to. I'll put it that way. Longhorns is a good one. Maybe Ohio State or Alabama. I see, but I do think that there's a lot of Longhorn fans. There's a lot of Ohio State Buckeye fans. There's a lot of Alabama. Like, there's so many fans for those colleges out there. But then again, you do have a lot of Cowboy fans, and that's the comparison we're talking. I would say Alabama. I'd go Alabama, especially now that Nick Saban has left, that they're not as good as they were, but they still have that big. I think Alabama's a good call. Third and goal for the Rams here. Stafford looking, throws it end zone. Ball is batted up and incomplete. It's going to be 4th and goal. 4th and goal. Stafford hanging in the pocket, looking as long as he could. Heaves it to the end zone. Ball gets batted up. Luckily for the Rams, it falls incomplete. And it's going to be 4th and goal. I think if you're the Rams, yeah, and they are going to kick the field goal to try and tie the game. You wrote a punk song, Tommy. What's it called? Yeah, that's what I was saying, Christian. Yeah, there are a lot of Cowboy fans. I would say Alabama is the most apt. But I feel like, well, I don't even know if it's Alabama because the Cowboys haven't won anything in like 30 years. Whereas Alabama were dominant, 5 years ago? Maybe not even. You need a team who hasn't won in a long time, is relatively popular. I don't know who the comparison is. I don't know college football well enough. I'll defer to some of you guys because I think you guys probably know better than I do. Packers losing 24-6 to the Lions. Eagles in field goal range. A field goal for the Eagles would make it a 2-possession game with 8 minutes to go. They have 2nd and 22. So if you're the Eagles, you want to get at least the field goal. Seattle's going to return the ball out of the end zone and get to the, wow, what a hit. Laviska Shenault, and he gets up to the 30. Looked like he should have been stopped about 9 yards earlier, but let's end it in a tie, says Nick. I think Longhorns is the close, though, because they haven't won. I would say maybe, and look, they're in Texas. They're in Austin, but they are in Texas. So, also, Cowboy fans are mostly Longhorns fans. Yeah, they seem to kind of go hand in hand. Was that I know Hank Hill in King of the Hill. Was Hank a Longhorns fan? I know he was a Cowboys fan. But that's the Texan person I think of. When I think of a typical Texan, I think of Hank Hill from King of the Hill. Okay, we're tied up. 13 apiece. 17 seconds to go in the third quarter. Total yards are pretty even. Geno Smith going to come out in the gun. Kenneth Walker to his right. Tight end in motion from their own 31. Hands it off to Walker up the middle, who falls forward for a pickup of 5. The defensive tackle Brown for the Rams played it well, but Kenneth Walker is able to kind of spin and then fall forward for a pickup of 5. That's the end of the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be heading to the fourth quarter. I need to charge my phone. Also, Cowboy fans, yeah. Daryl says Notre Dame or USC. Maybe Notre Dame. I think that you're going to find a lot more opposition to Notre Dame here in the 49ers stream just because of Joe Montana. Cowboys, Tom Landry was a long time ago. USC, though, yeah, they were good. Was it Pete Carroll? And then who's the coach for USC now? Isn't it the guy who was with Oklahoma, wasn't it? The guy who was coaching, was it Baker and Kyler Murray? who then coached Caleb. What's his name? Oh, God, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of his name. The coach for, I think he's the coach now for USC. Yeah, he's the guy who coached Baker and Kyler Murray. Notre Dame hasn't won a long time yet. I think Notre Dame are, they have the big name and they were historically really good, but yeah, I don't know anymore. So the Eagles tack on a touchdown. So it's 13 apiece here. We're in the fourth quarter. Seattle have the ball. USC having against its, Pete Carroll and Matt Leinart. It's raining in the Packers game. So it's going to be a handoff to Kenneth Walker up the middle, who gets basically no gain. So now we're going to have, what is the call here? That is the NFL window, 3 hours, and we have more to go. Second and, what is this? I think Fox has screwed up the down and distance because the screen is showing 2nd and 9, but I'm pretty sure it's 3rd and relatively short. I don't know. Yes, it does, Gene. It rains a lot in Ireland. Snap is away. Gino heaves it downfield. That's a great play by Tyler Lockett. Great. That's just a veteran move right there. Running down the sideline, kind of comes to a quick, abrupt stop. A little bit of a push off, but creates the separation. And then just bam, back shoulder, caught. 1st and 10 Seattle at the Rams 43. Gino in the gun, empty backfield. I think this is going to be a snap and quick pass would be my guess. And Kenneth Walker joins him in the backfield. This will be snap, quick pass off to Kenneth Walker. And he is going to maybe get a couple of yards on the play. Read well by the Rams defense, only a couple of yards. Nebraska, the Cornhuskers. Was it Wisconsin? That's where Russell Wilson went to school. Nebraska, was that where Ndamukong Suh went? 2nd and 8. Geno Smith hands it off to Kenneth Walker, who's now going to lose 2 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 10. And really nice job by this Rams defense the last couple of plays. So 10 minutes to go between the Lions and the Packers. And the Packers had it and goal, 4th and goal, or 4th and 1 from the Lions, 9, no gain. Wisconsin Badgers and then the Nebraska Cornhuskers. 3rd and 10, Geno Smith heaves it deep, incomplete, and it's going to be a flag against our old friend, Akello Witherspoon, the defensive back. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I think they're potentially calling a flag against Akello Witherspoon, and it should not be called. Wow, that's a bad call. Pass interference against Akello Witherspoon, former 49er, former 3rd round pick out of Colorado, gets called for the pass interference on 3rd and 10. I think that's a bad call. That's a really bad call. How is that pass interference? I don't know. First and 10 Seattle at the Rams 20-yard line. Geno behind center, Walker the back. Pitches it to the back up the middle, who gets stuffed. Loses 2 yards on the play. And Kenneth Walker is not happy. But that is not a flag against Ahkello Witherspoon. Spoon is trash, Tommy. I completely agree with you. I'm not a big fan of Ahkello Witherspoon, but that was not a flag against him. That was a terrible call. Second and 12 for Seattle at the Rams 22. Geno in the gun, Walker to his right. Snap is away, looking to throw. Throws it over the middle, going to be caught by the tight end, who's breaking tackles. First down to the Rams 5. First and goal. Seattle at the Rams 5-yard line. Wow, it's breakdown in the Rams defense right there. And it's first and goal from the 5. 11 and a half minutes to go in the game. I feel like I've been streaming this game for about 3 days. From the 6, they're calling it. Geno in the gun. Looking to throw. Looking. Throws it end zone. Intercepted by the Rams. Intercepted. He's taking it back. He gets a block. This is going to be a pick 6. Rams are going to score a touchdown. Pick 6. Geno Smith gets intercepted. Geno Smith but there's a flag down. There is a flag. As of now, it is a interception returned for a touchdown, but there's a flag down. What is the flag? What is the flag? Looks like it's maybe against... These teams are trash. Yeah, they are kind of bad. The fact that we lost the Rams still makes me sick. I don't know what the flag is, but I think the pick 6 still stands. Yeah, did you see that, Tommy? That pick... Geno Smith hit as he throws, and it was right into the hands of the Ram defender. Yeah, Geno. It's a touchdown. It is a confirmed touchdown. Here comes the extra point attempt for the Rams to make it a 7-point game. 10:59 to go in the game. Snap is away. And, it is a good extra point. Just about. So it's 20-13. Rams over the Seahawks. Seahawks knocking on the door. And goal to go. Geno hit as he throws it, and it just falls just effortlessly into the hands of a Ram defender. And he had the wherewithal to realize, I can return this. Because a lot of times if you intercept in the end zone, you're thinking you just go down, take a knee, or you get, just kind of give yourself up, and then you get the touchback. But he took off, pick 6. That's changed the whole momentum of the game right there. Caleb Williams, 21 for 40 for 200 yards. Do we think, is Caleb Williams good? I don't know. The Jaguars just scored a touchdown. So there's 4 minutes to go in that game. It's 28-22. Final in the Cardinals and the Bears. The Cardinals beat the Bears 29-9. 29-9. What happened to the Bears? What the hell? That's not good. Do you watch college football at all? Says, well. I don't watch too much. I'll watch like the championship game. I'll watch some big games. But I grew up, um, like I went to school in Ireland. So I didn't go to an American college. So I don't have an allegiance to any team. Told you Gino blows. We lost. Yeah. Christian, it still makes me sick that we lost both. Like we should be 6-2 right now. Ugh. Do you remember the Clowney hit against Michigan when the announcer screamed, "That is how it should have been"? That's a good. Well. Here is my favorite college hit. Was Patrick Willis for Ole Miss, probably the 2006 season against LSU. When the LSU running back came and Patrick Willis tackled him, lifted him up, and slammed him down. That's my favorite college football tackle. The Rams kick the ball away. It's going to be a touchback. Seattle will start 1st and 10 at their 30. Aaron Easter says, PP. I think Williams is good. He's on a bad team, though. A bad team is maybe the offensive line could be better, but he has Roma Dunze, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. I mean, he has guys to throw to, right? They're letting Jacksonville score and just feels like the football gods with the Rams there. I don't like that, but was justified after that. Yeah. 1st and 10 Seattle at their 30. Geno Smith hands it off up the middle to Charbonnet. Charbonnet falls forward, picks up 6. You already marked the Eagles game as a win? Do we? I don't think we played the Eagles this season, in the regular season, no? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. 3rd and 4 actually coming up now here for Seattle. I missed that play. I'm not on top of it right now. Geno Smith, batted down at the line of scrimmage. Good play by the Ram defender. The Rams they're very well coached, is what it seems like. They're maybe not the most they're definitely not the most talented team, but they're very well coached, I would say. 3rd and 4 for Seattle at their own 36-ish. Geno in the gun, to his left, Charbonnet. Snap is away, looking to throw. Kind of mishandled it. Under pressure, sacked! Gets sacked! Braden Fisk, the really good, another Florida State guy, sacked. And then you have Turner. Wow, that's a big-time play for the Rams defense. And Geno just had nowhere to go with it. And the really good pressure there. Yeah, Braden Fisk and Jared Verse, the Florida State guys, that's a really good draft for the LA Rams. So the Seahawks, 4th and 14, they're forced to punt, 10 minutes to go. Fair catch called for by the Rams at their own 29. So the Rams are now going to have the ball at their own 29. 10 minutes to go. They lead by 7. If you're the Rams, you got to be thinking just get 3. Take the lead by 10. Eagles, 28-23 over the Jaguars. There's 2.5 minutes-ish to go in the game. 2nd and 8 at the Jacksonville 43. Jacksonville just used their first timeout. So Jacksonville obviously needs to get a stop here. Excuse me. Jacksonville could potentially allow for a field goal, because then they would still be down 8, so it would still be a 1-possession game, but they really can't allow any more first downs. False start against the Eagles, so it's going to be 2nd and 13 for the Eagles on the Jacksonville 48. Jordan Love, what are his numbers? 21 of 35, 250 yards and interception. That's not great. 48 people in here, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out on this Sunday for the NFC West showdown. Rams-Seahawks. Rams have the ball back now. Rams are going to look to chew up time and at least put 3 on the board, make it a 2-possession game. The Seahawks offense has been inconsistent. They have had a couple of fairly big plays to Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's had a really solid game with the absence of DK Metcalf. But overall, it's just been way too inconsistent. Some penalties have really hurt both teams, especially offensively, trying to get into a rhythm, and it just hasn't worked. I'm impressed by the Cardinals, though. 29-9 over the Bears. And the Bears had won 4 games in a row. Then they lose, and they probably should have beat the Washington Commanders. Obviously, outside of that Hail Mary, that crazy Hail Mary, they could have been on a 5-game, and then they get destroyed by the Arizona Cardinals. Make sense of that. Big dog. 9:49 to go in the game for the Rams lead 20-13. 1st and 10 at their own 29. Rams want to pick up a few first downs and add on 3. Stafford behind center, single back, snap is away, does hand it off to Williams. Williams tries to stiff arm a guy, maybe gets 2 yards. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Packers in the red zone, which it feels like for the 20th time today. The Rams will be very happy, I think, to let the clock run down. Maybe it's a little bit too early for it, but we'll see. 2nd and 8, Stafford behind center, again, single back. This is the formation they like this game. This is the matchups they like. Cup in motion, man coverage. Snap is away, fakes the handoff. Stafford steps into the pocket, heaves it downfield. Almost, incomplete. Almost intercepted by the Seahawks. The Seahawks DB is convinced that he did pick it off. I thought it hit the ground. Stafford just heaved the ball downfield. Double covered was Tutu Atwell. And I think actually that could be an interception. And we got a little spam action here. And first down Rams. Stafford hits Demarcus Robinson. What is with the PP, man? How did the Seahawks not get their challenge off in time for that interception? I would have thought, that's incomplete for sure. 4th and 8. So the Rams only take about a minute off the clock. Now they have to punt the ball back to Seattle. Punt is blocked by Seattle. Seattle is going to recover it, or they're going to have it in great field position. So Seattle's going to have it at the Rams' 19-yard line. The punt is blocked. Seattle's going to be in the Rams' red zone after the blocked punt. Zentner had his punt blocked. Wow, that guy was right there. We're back, baby, says Aaron Easter. A blocked punt, and now Seattle has 1st and 10 at the Rams' 19-yard line. Geno in the gun, looks like Walker to his right. Trips receivers up top to his left. Snap is away. He's looking to his right side, dumps it off to Walker, who's going to get about 4 yards. 2nd and 6 coming up. Nice play for Seattle. Pick up some positive yards. If you're Seattle, that's a good play right there. Get some positive yards on first down. You're probably, considering where you're at on the field, the time and everything, you're probably in 4 down territory. So now you have 3 shots to get 6 yards. 2nd and 6. Rams look like they're going to bring a blitz here. Geno in the gun, Walker to his right. Trips receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Geno making a lot of calls to his offensive line here. 8 minutes to go. Snap is away. Looking to his right. Geno's going to run for it himself and maybe gets a couple. Maybe 3rd and 4, if we're generous, we'll call it. They're saying 3rd and 6. Wow. They are not generous to Geno. The Packers do score a touchdown. Also, the Jaguars have the ball back. 3rd and 10 at their own 47. The Jaguars could potentially win that game. A lot going on right now. 3rd and 6 for the Seahawks. At the Rams 15. Geno in the gun. Snap is away. Dumps it off to his right. It's got a man. First down, Seahawks. It's going to be 1st and goal, Seahawks at the 5-yard line. And that is Barner. Well, says, if anyone ever asks what is an NFC West division game like, yeah. NFC West division games are just unique, and I wish it was unique in a very good way, but it's not. 1st and goal, Seattle. Less than 7 minutes ago. They hand it off to Walker up the middle. Gets from the 5-yard line to maybe close to the 3-yard line. Last 3 possessions for Seattle. Punt, interception, punt. 2nd and goal from, I'll say, the 3.5-yard line. Just over 6 minutes to go in the game. Geno in the gun. He's got Walker to his right. 2 tight ends and a receiver to his left. Lock it in motion. Snap is away. Fakes the handoff to Walker. Dumps off. Intercepted! What was Geno Smith thinking? Intercepted by the Rams. Who was Geno Smith throwing to? Geno Smith, clearly a massive miscommunication. And Geno Smith intercepted by the Rams. And that was a horrible... Who was he throwing to? Welcome to the channel, Aaron. That's your boy Geno Smith, man. Who was he throwing to? The tight end. The tight end did some weird hop skip thing. What was that? That was awful. Aaron, I put you in a timeout for 1 minute. It's great to have you here, buddy, but you're spamming the chat like a crazy person. Geno Smith is livid, as he should be. What the hell was going on there? Aaron Easter, I like you, dude, but you were spamming like a madman. These Rams are young and will be even better when they see those 40. Daryl's confident. I like the confidence. Stafford hits Cooper Kupp and gets about maybe 4 yards on the play. I do have to say the Rams have had a really good draft. Braden Fisk looking good. Jared Verse. Florida State, man. 3rd and 3 for the Rams. There's 5 minutes to go in the game. If you're the Rams, you really need a 3rd down pickup here. You need to get the 1st down. If you're the Seahawks, if you got to stop here, you're still very much in this game. This is a big-time play. Stafford in the gun, back to his right. Kupp in motion. Snap. Stafford looks, dumps it off. Incomplete, looking for Cooper Kupp. The Rams needed that. Kupp wants a flag, not going to get it. Wow, that's a good play by the Seahawks. That's Devin Witherspoon. That's a good play by Witherspoon. 4th and 3, 4:39 to go in the game. Rams going to have to punt the ball away, so Seattle should get the ball back in good field position. Remember, last time the punt was blocked, so Rams got to be careful about that. The punt is away. Going to be fielded at the 37, breaks a tackle, and gets up to about the 38. Ran a lot of yards to get maybe a yard. Zion is clearly a big-time Rams fan, which, hey. Trevor Lawrence intercepted, by the way, by Nakobe Dean. So the Eagles are going to beat the Jaguars. The Eagles are going to move to 6-2 on the season. I can't believe how badly the Bears played. I keep it clean, bro. If the Rams have Stafford or Purdy, it's LA. 1st and 10 for the Seahawks at the 38. And Geno Smith gets sacked by Braden Fisk and Jared Verse. That Florida State rookie combo is lethal. And I really liked Braden Fisk in the draft. But we also did get Renardo Green, and I like Ricky Pearsall, so I can't be complaining too much. But great job by the two rookies out of Florida State for the Rams. Loss of 6 for the Seahawks. Less than 4 minutes to go. 2nd and 16. Snap is away for Geno. In the pocket, heaving it downfield. Caught by Jackson Smith-Njigba. But there is a flag. And it looks like it's coming back. You can see the look on Jackson Smith-Njigba, and it's going to be on Michael Jarrell. The right tackle gets flagged for offensive holding. Yeah, that was holding. That was absolutely holding. They moved to 2 next year to get Fisk. The Rams did? Hey, he looks like he's worth it, though. 2nd and 26 for the Seahawks. Back at their own 22-yard line. They do have 2 timeouts. And that's going to be a false start against the Seahawks, against Jarrell. The guy who just got flagged for the offensive holding, which was a bad hold, now gets flagged for the false start. So he's just cost his team 15 yards. Best line in football, maybe if Aaron Donald came back. But they have a very good, young, talented defensive line. I won't question that. And if you can get a good defensive line, man, that changes your defense all over the place. That makes it so much easier for everyone else. 2nd and 26 now. Geno heaves it downfield. Incomplete. He was looking for JSN, but there was about 3 Rams defenders in the vicinity. Where are the 12s? They are very quiet right now. Geno got hit. There's no flag, and there should not be one. It's actually going to be 3rd and 31 for the Seahawks. I think you kind of have to play for field position here, and then hope your defense can get a 3 and out. Geno's in the gun, empty backfield. I think that's what they're going to do. Geno throws it downfield, going to be caught by JSN, who's going to get maybe like 10 yards or so. But the Seahawks, if I'm the Seahawks, I go to the line quickly, punt the ball away, and then you have the 2-minute warning, 2 timeouts, and you have to hope your defense can get a stop. But It's not looking good. Seahawks suddenly going to move to the bottom of the division if they lose this game. Dixon punts the ball away. Taken by the Rams at the 19, gets up to the 27. Nice to see you back, Greg. Great to have you back, buddy. I will be doing a couple of videos throughout the week, talking about the Niners, of course. And then next Sunday, we'll be doing Tampa Bay and San Francisco. The 49ers travel to Florida. $20-13. There's 2:59 to go in the game. The Rams have the ball now. 1st and 10 at their own 27. Stafford is going to be behind center. Aaron, come on, bro. Snap is away. Hands it off to Kyren Williams. And Williams breaking tackles. Still going up to the 47. Picks up 20. But there's a flag. There is a flag. It's going to be offensive holding against the Rams. Against number 50. Bo Limmer. The rookie offensive lineman out of Arkansas. I think Bo went to Arkansas. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's going to be 1st and 20 now. Both teams have been flagged. There's been 19 accepted penalties. Unbelievable. 1st and 20 for the Rams at their own 18. 2:52 to go in the game. Seahawks have 2 timeouts. Stafford behind center. There's a lone back is Kyren. Snap is away. Hands it off. Kyren's going to break some tackles and actually get some decent yards on 1st down. And Seattle's going to call their first timeout. He picked up maybe 9 yards on the play. So it's going to be 2nd and 11 for the Rams. Puka Nacua was ejected in the 2nd quarter. Daryl says, hey, off subject, when the Rams forced Vermeil out, there would be a curse. When Seifert took over from football immortal Bill Walsh, the 95 ring had a caveat. No more. You've been watching too much Goosebumps. You've been reading too much R.L. Stein. I don't know if we should get rid of that comment, Christian, unless he got rid of the comment himself. A little trash talk is okay, as long as it's nothing personal. Second and 11 for the Rams at their own 27. Stafford behind center. Kyren Williams. They pitch it right side to Kyren, who's going to lose a bunch of yards. Where is the logic in that? Well, there's no logic. It's fantasy. Seahawks use their final timeout. The Rams just lost 4 yards on that play. I think it's funny. There's no logic. I think it's... Oh, he retracted that himself. Okay. I think it's funny. I don't believe in curses or things like that. Plus, like, where was the curse? Like, Bill Walsh decided to retire himself after the Super Bowl in '88. He decided, it wasn't like the Niners forced him out or anything. Bill Walsh, there was the famous interview when after they won the Super Bowl against the Bengals, where it was like, is this the reporter goes, is this the last time we've seen you on the sidelines? And then Bill Walsh gets super emotional, and it was, yeah, I agree with getting rid of Aaron's. I went in and I put Aaron on a timeout as well, because that was just silly, but Bill Walsh decided by himself to retire. The Niners didn't force him out. Eddie DeBartolo would have welcomed Bill Walsh. Eddie DeBartolo would have said, Bill Walsh, here's a contract and you write in how many years for how much money. It's a blank, empty, it's a blank check. You write in however many years and money you want. And Eddie DeBartolo would have paid it. They hand it off to Kyron Williams on 3rd and 15. So Seattle will get the ball back. It'll be the 2-minute warning. And Seattle's going to have to go down and try and tie the game up. But that's the difference. Like if the 49ers forced Bill Walsh out and said, no, we don't want you anymore, Bill. We want George Seifert. Maybe I could buy the argument of a potential curse, although I still wouldn't believe it. But Bill Walsh himself decided to retire. So where is the bad faith, the bad karma? There's no bad karma there. And then George Seifert, we still went on to win a Super Bowl. Come on, Daryl, you're just making stuff up like a crazy person. Come on, man. You're better than that. The Niners were the class of the NFL, yeah. That's why I thought he was coming back. I thought DeBart was jealous of Bill. No, not at all. DeBartolo wanted to win, and DeBartolo knew that Bill Walsh had won him 3 Super Bowls and had so much success that, look, I would have... Bill Walsh himself says that he said that he regretted retiring when he did, especially considering how freaking good, the best 49ers team in history was the 1989 49ers. The year after Bill Walsh retired, that was the best 49ers team, in my opinion, the 89 49ers. And Bill Walsh retired, and Bill Walsh went out on top on his own accord. Nobody forced him out. He decided to retire. Eddie DeBartolo would have been more than happy to have given him a blank check, to have been like, however many years you want, however much money you want, as long as we're winning, bam, it's all you. But Bill Walsh decided to retire. And Bill Walsh had been coaching for a long, long time. He was not a young coach. He'd only been in the NFL for about 10 years. Well, he'd only been with the 49ers for about 10 years as a head coach. But he was with the Bengals. He was with Stanford. He had done a lot of coaching prior to being head coach of the 49ers. And he decided to retire himself. He was not forced to do it. There was no bad will between him and the 49ers. He decided, and I think he himself said that he regretted retiring when he did, because he left that team when they were at absolute dominance and peak. And I love and appreciate what George Seifert did for the team. George Seifert was the head coach, won 2 Super Bowls. That's more Super Bowls than most franchises in the NFL have won in their entire existence. But I think if Bill Walsh had stayed the coach, we probably would have won maybe 3 or 4 instead of 2. But that's a conversation for another day. Rams going to have to punt the ball back to the Seahawks. We're coming back from the 2-minute warning. Rams punting from their own 29-yard line. They have had a punt blocked before. He does get this punt away. Fair catch called for at the 27. So the Rams are going to have to go 73 yards. Casey Garcia says, will the Seahawks come back or should I cash out some money on my parlay before? Don't hold me to this, but I don't think the Seahawks come back. I don't trust Geno Smith. That's just me. I would say don't put all your faith in me, but I would say don't trust Geno Smith and cash out. You should cash out before. Geno Smith gets sacked. Geno Smith gets sacked and loses, and that's Braden Fisk, the rookie who's been an absolute menace. And Geno loses about maybe at least 10 yards, maybe more. Cash out now. Yeah, you don't want... Wow, what a catch, though, by number 82. Did he come in? It was 2nd and 24 for Seattle. Over the outstretched hands of Akella Witherspoon, 82 gets both feet inbounds, and that's a good catch. First down Seattle up to their 41. Geno in the pocket, going to scramble himself, going to run up to, and that's going to be a first down into Rams territory. 1:20 left to go in the game. First down, Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers still should never lost the Rams. I completely agree, Greg. I completely agree. First and 10 Seattle at the Rams 48. Geno in the gun, players either side of him. Snap is away. He's looking to throw. Looking, throws it downfield over the middle. No, incomplete. I thought it was intercepted. Imagine this defensive line with Donald. Wow, yeah, that would be scary. Because Fisk looks like a monster. It should have been intercepted by Williams, but it wasn't. He dropped it. Bill Walsh, the greatest 49ers coach. Jacqueline, I agree with you. I would say Bill Walsh, number 1. George Seifert, 2. Shanahan, 3. Harbaugh, 4. That would be my tentative order, but... Risa P, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate that. Thank you. Jacqueline says, Seahawks missing too many chances. We better beat Rams. Yeah. I do look forward to the adjustments that each coach will make. Bill Walsh, my pick for GOAT coach. Yeah, I would say, you have to look at, Chip Kelly, Jason. Come on, man. Next, you're going to say, what, Jim Tomsula? Or Mike Nolan, or no, not Mike Nolan. Who was the guy before Mike Nolan? Dennis Erickson. 2nd and 10 Seattle at the Rams 48. Will the Lions win the Super Bowl? No. 2nd and 10, Geno dumps it off. That's going to be to Barner. Gets about 5 or 6 yards. I think the Lions are just peaking a little bit too early. Think about this. The Lions play the 49ers in the regular season, and that is like 2 months from now. And it's still going to be the regular season. Do I think that the Lions are still going to be that hot? Maybe. But incomplete on 3rd and 5. Geno Smith hits. He gets hit as he throws it. 4th and 5. This is the game for Seattle. If Seattle want to still have a chance in this game, they got to pick up this 4th and 5. Daryl says Bill Walsh is the spring from while all titles fall. I'll need you to repeat that. Jason says Dennis Erickson is number 3. So Chip Kelly number 1, Jim Tomsula 2, and Erickson 3. 4th and 5 for Seattle. Geno in the gun. Charbonnet to his right. They need the first down here to keep the game alive. Snap is away. Geno's looking. Throws it downfield. Caught by JSN, and he takes a big shot, but it's caught. JSN down to the Rams 13, and is this the breakout game for Jackson Smith-Njigba? We all knew that he was a good receiver, but he's showing himself to be a damn good receiver in this game. Big time play, throw, catch, Jackson Smith-Njigba. I agree, Greg. I agree with you. I think the Niners need to make a trade, though. 1st and 10, Seattle at the Rams 14, 57 seconds to go. Geno looking, end zone, touchdown! Touchdown! JSN! Touchdown, Seattle! Jackson Smith-Njigba. Are you kidding me? What a throw. What a catch. Seattle can tie this up. And I got to use the restroom. Holy smokes. White, Willie Beeman, Brock Purdy. What a throw. What a catch. 20-20. The Rams do have a chance to win the game, though. Seattle, of course, you'd have to expect will just kick the ball off to the Rams. 51 seconds to go. Kickoff is away, and you take the knee. So the Rams will have the ball 1st and 10 at their 30-yard line. 51 seconds. The Rams have one timeout. This feels like the longest game ever. 3 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah, I've been live for 3 hours and 41 minutes. Oof. Too much excitement there, Shift. I hate Seattle. It was just, I couldn't believe that they actually pulled it off. Sorry, Tennille. You know how I am. I get crazy, but I do also agree with you. I just couldn't believe that Geno actually pulled out a comeback. Are you kidding me? 1st and 10 for the Rams. Stafford in the gun. Back to his right. 51 seconds. They have a timeout. Snap is away. They just need any points to win the game. Stafford heaves it downfield. That's going to be a flag against the Rams because Demarcus Robinson was out of bounds, and then he was the first person to touch the ball after Stafford threw it. My name is Willie Beeman. That was a great movie, wasn't it? Any Given Sunday? Jamie Foxx and Al Pacino. My name is Willie Beeman. Yeah, he was out of bounds. He can't be the first person